prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Jim Rome. Thank you for listening, and we will see you right back here tomorrow at noon. Now here comes the Blitz on KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, Stephen Jones said today that he expects tight end Jake Ferguson to be back this week after missing yesterday's blowout loss to the New Orleans Saints. Cowboys play host to Baltimore this Sunday. Houston Texans now 2-0. They beat up on the Chicago Bears last night. They'll travel to Minnesota this Sunday. And the Carolina Panthers announced today that quarterback Bryce Young is headed to the bench. Andy Dalton will get the start this week.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Here we go.
Let's talk about those Longhorns moving up to number 1 in the country.
We will.
After a big win. How about those Aggies?
We'll talk about them, too.
Big road win over the Texans.
Look down at your shirt.
Did I spill something?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they spilled a lot yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
Damn those Dallas Cowboys. Well, it was fun until the game started. I will tell you, I went to that game, and going to a Cowboy game regardless, and the amount of you out there that blame me, like every time Minix goes, they get blown out. Just the last 2. I mean, I had a really good long winning streak going to Cowboy games there at Jerry World, but the last 2 have looked eerily similar because there's no defense in Dallas.
Boy, I tell you what, that was just really, really surprising yesterday. Well, I'm watching that thing, and I couldn't believe how easy New Orleans was moving the football up and down the field and how much time Derrick Carr had. That dude was back there getting his nails done. I mean, it was ridiculous. Where was Micah Parsons? Where was DeMarcus Lawrence? Where were those guys, the great pass rushers of the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah. I mean, last year, me, talked about how this defense could be historically great, and clearly that didn't happen. This year, Joe Reinick was like, that defense is going to carry it. That defense is really good. That defense was a no-show. That was a blowout loss for the Dallas Cowboys, and not one of you out there can literally blame Dak Prescott and be taken seriously. You can't blame Dak Prescott for that game yesterday.
Well, no, but we probably will anyway.
You will. You will. You will.
2 interceptions. I mean, there you go.
If you just read a box score, sure. That first interception, Jalen Brooks fell down.
He did.
You can't. And the last one, it didn't matter at that point. He's just trying to force the ball into CeeDee Lamb, who had fewer targets in the game than Jalen Tolbert. How in the hell does that happen?
Well, it happens because it's going to happen every game. The defense is going to concentrate on CeeDee Lamb. That's the only guy they have to take away. Nobody's scared of anybody else that is a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. So you take away CeeDee Lamb, or you do your best to do that, and somebody else has got to step up. Look, it hurt not having Ferguson, although I will admit Schoonmaker played a decent ball game yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, 6 catches on 6 targets, but he wasn't a threat.
No.
He wasn't a threat like Ferguson is. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys getting blown out at home 44-19, I was there. It didn't even feel that close, to be quite honest.
It was awful.
And it's not like the Cowboys added some garbage points late in the second half to make it look respectable like in that playoff loss to Green Bay. In fact, they didn't really do squat in the second half except for one Brandon Aubrey field goal, which makes I want to run a theory by all of you. And today's one of those days. The phone lines are open. It's a therapy session. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. On Twitter, at Joe Reinigal 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. We had plenty of time to sit and talk in a very quiet building besides the Whodats. So I'm sitting there talking with Rob Thompson, and God bless Rob Thompson. 4 days in Las Vegas with no underwear, flies into Dallas late Saturday night, shows up on Sunday morning at the tailgate party, which, by the way, freaking awesome.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
And thank goodness there was a lot of pregame beers to get us ready for the numbness that we were going to get from the Dallas Cowboys. But next time we give away those passes to the tailgate, do everything in your power to get your name registered to win those things. That was freaking awesome. But Rob and I are sitting there in between a fight that happened in the row with us, by the way. And I'll share details with that as well later. There might be a new theory with Mike McCarthy and his play calling and the greatness that is Brandon Aubrey that could be a problem for the Dallas Cowboys. Every time they got in a field goal range, which is around midfield, it felt like the play calling changed and got conservative because Mike McCarthy had the field goal in the bag. Like, all right, we're in field goal range. I got 3. Don't do anything to screw this up, like take a sack, have a turnover. I've got 3. And the Saints are scoring touchdowns, and the Cowboys are kicking field goals. Now, my fantasy team benefited from Brandon Aubrey and all those field goals yesterday. But I would rather the Cowboys get touchdowns than field goals. But it felt like every time they got to midfield, because it's not like the Saints defense was doing a lot of great things slowing down the offense for the Cowboys, which still lacks a run game.
Oh, it's awful.
But the play calling seemed aggressive at the beginning of drives, and once they got into field goal range, it seemed to get pretty conservative. Let's hand it to Deuce. He'll fall forward for 2, and we'll run a short underneath pass, and we'll just kick a field goal. Is Brandon Aubrey's greatness a problem now for the Dallas Cowboys in the sense of, you get around midfield, you're in field goal range, you got 3, so let's take our foot off the gas a little.
Well, if that's the case, we need to fire Mike McCarthy today.
I 100% agree with that.
If that is the case, then because that's a very dangerous game to play.
Did it feel that way for you guys watching on television?
It felt like the same Cowboy team. They move the ball up and down the field, and then they get into scoring range, and they do nothing. I mean, it's the same old story. We saw it all over again yesterday with the offense that way. The defense can't stop the run. They had no pass rush. It was just ridiculous. I don't know how a team goes unless Cleveland is just that bad or their offensive line was just that bad. But how do you go from applying pressure all day long to Deshaun Watson to getting absolutely nothing on Derek Carr?
Now, it might be that the Saints are better than any of us gave us credit to. I mean, they beat the holy smokes out of Carolina, but they suck, right?
They do.
And maybe Dallas does. Or maybe New Orleans is that good. Derek Carr has scored on every offensive drive he's been in the game for this season through 2 games. And that guy was throwing dimes left and right.
He was the best quarterback on the field yesterday.
Yeah,
There's no question about it.
$30 million versus $60 million, let's go. But he also had receivers that were getting open. He had a running game. And honestly, that Cowboys defense, no pressure on the quarterback. They couldn't stop the run. There were touchdown runs where you could see Alvin Kamara and nobody. I don't know what it looked like on television, but I'm guessing you probably saw touchdowns where there wasn't a Cowboy in the frame.
No.
Because watching, you were looking like, where are they? and I could see the entire field, and I couldn't find a Cowboy defender out there.
Yeah, I don't know what week 2 a blowout loss to the Saints tells us about the Dallas Cowboys, because we were all anointing them again. Hope is back. Super Bowl time. New Orleans. Yeah. I heard it. It's like, the Cowboys are back.
Out of your mouth.
That defense is fantastic. And look, I bought into it.
Yeah.
I did. I bought into it. I thought the defense would be better. And I've heard about it already today on Twitter. Everybody, I thought you said they were going to be good. I mean,
look,
I was wrong.
It's one of those years.
Woo!
And again, although yesterday was a very strange day in the National Football League.
It was.
When you had multiple underdogs winning outright. You had what we thought were really good teams getting blown out, like the Rams, who are now 0-2, blown out by the Cardinals 41-10. San Francisco on the road losing to Minnesota. Detroit losing at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was the Ravens losing at home to the Las Vegas Raiders. It was a strange, strange weekend in the National Football League.
It was that. There were a lot of weird games.
The casinos the books are the only ones that were big winners this weekend.
I'm sure they were. My goodness. It was just weird. And I don't know what to make of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really thought they would be better, but they have sucked. Lost 2 games at home already this year. So now they got to go out on the road and try and do something.
And you look at the highlights, Deshaun Watson looked like Deshaun Watson.
Well, he did. And there's the other thing, Cleveland. I mean, coming back on the road and getting it done. So, I don't know. And then you got, and I'm looking forward to this weekend, Dallas and Baltimore. You're going to have a desperate Baltimore Ravens football team coming into Jerry World.
Yep.
Obviously, the Cowboys are going to want to play better. But, that's a dangerous scenario for Dallas. Because the Ravens, my goodness, unless they're just that bad, can you imagine them going 0-3?
Well, you look at the Cowboys' upcoming schedule, and we've had 2 games with 2 very different-looking Dallas Cowboy teams. But you look at their upcoming schedule, and we knew it was going to be brutal at the beginning. And quite honestly, them being 1-1 after 2 games is not a surprise. I talked about that, when we were in Oxnard. I thought they would lose the Cleveland and beat New Orleans as opposed to the other way around, but being 1-1. Are they going to be, 2-2 or 1-3 after 4 games, which is why Mike McCarthy, with not a contract, is going to be one of those talking points when you look at the stretch of games coming up for the Dallas Cowboys. It is not easy. Now, Jerry Jones can tell us this will all get fixed.
Extraordinarily disappointing for our fans. We will correct this. We will improve from where we played out there today.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, if Jerry says it, I feel better already.
Are they going to go find another running back? Oh, I can see it. Tuesday, Wednesday. Dalvin Cook's been activated. He's ready to go.
You might as well.
But is he really going to be the answer?
It can't be any worse.
Ferguson coming back will certainly help because Jalen Tolbert, not a threat. Although he played okay yesterday. Jalen Brooks, young player, give him up. But there's no threat there. There's no real threat. So CD is going to get double and triple teamed.
Yep.
But with no threat to run, I don't know. I mean, it was just a straight up butt kicking yesterday by the New Orleans Saints, just taking it to the defense, and they don't really have a legit tackle. The linebackers, I don't know. Overshown played great last week. He could barely get on the field yesterday.
Yeah, which was weird, right?
Why?
Yeah,
right.
It was weird. I'm not sure what his lack of playing time was. Just bizarre. Mozzie Smith still, I don't know, this guy has not done anything. But look, I don't even blame the Cowboys secondary that much. You give any NFL quarterback the time that Derek Carr had, it's hard to keep guys covered that long. It was amazing how much time. I can't remember the last time I saw a quarterback with that kind of time. Now, look, having a running game helps, and we've been talking about that, and the Cowboys have nothing to Dak Prescott's defense. But, my gosh, it was just awful yesterday. That defense looked like they forgot how to play football.
The scheme players, I don't know. Over-aggressive, I saw that on Twitter. The defense was being too over a bull. I mean, they were playing crap. They weren't staying in their lanes. They weren't doing what NFL defenses should be doing. It was embarrassing for Mike Zimmer. I can't wait to hear his press conference this week. As jolly as that man is on a normal day, I can only imagine after his defense gets its ass kicked the way it did yesterday by the New Orleans Saints. You want to talk about it? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. We'll talk more about the Cowboys, hear from Dak, hear from Mike McCarthy. They're all disappointed.
Yes.
They'll say all the right things.
Stephen Jones talked too.
Yeah, we'll hear from all involved coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, as we continue to get older, you got to take better care of your health. Your testosterone levels start to decline in our 30s. So if you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. The answer is simple. Go get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. You don't want to put it off. At Synergenics, you'll get testing and customized care from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy or TRT. Book that initial appointment at synergenicshealth.com. Maybe it's just weight you need help with. If you're tired of the dad bod jokes and whatnot, well, the testosterone experts at Synergenics are known for advanced TRT treatment. They're also experts with GLP-1 weight loss medication. At Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, you'll get TRT test results on your first visit because they have that on-site lab, and you can also be evaluated for prescription weight loss treatment. Don't put it off. Do it now. Book that appointment. Synergenicshealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com. That's OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The football weekend wraps up tonight with what could be a really good Monday night game. Atlanta and Philadelphia, a bird battle. Listen to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, starting at 6:30, presented by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Did you add in the bird battle, or is that on the script?
No, I added that in.
Well, boy, I tell you, that's creative.
Well, it's double birds for me. Some of you get it, some of you.
A.J. Brown will not play for Philadelphia tonight. He's out.
No.
And if you haven't heard, Bryce Young has been benched for the old redhead Andy Dalton.
Wow, Andy Dalton's still in the league.
Yes.
And starting. You know, when you have a good quality backup quarterback, that happens.
That happens. We saw Cooper Rush yesterday.
You know, it's funny. I did not.
No?
You know, I'm sitting there. The game is getting out of hand. And I get an alert that my 6 o'clock flight was delayed until like 7:45.
Okay.
And I thought, well, this sucks. So I open up my Southwest app, and I changed my flight to the 4:45 flight and hit the Uber lot and went to the airport. It was probably about 2:45 when I left. Game was over at that point.
Absolutely.
Cooper Rush was coming in.
Game was over about 12:45.
And I broke a rule for me because I generally won't leave a game early no matter how bad it is. But in this case, hanging out in Dallas until 8 o'clock for a delayed flight versus I could be home by 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the airport. We'll see you boys later.
Yeah, you needed to do that.
That was awful. That airport beer was well deserved, well earned after the crap that I was watching.
Boy, I tell you what, it was just awful. I mean, it was just I couldn't believe it. What I'm watching now. Truth be told, I'm watching the game, the first half of it from my phone in the golf cart.
Oh yeah.
So and just laughing, and people, what are you laughing about? Well, the Cowboys are getting their butts kicked again.
Here we go.
So, you know, it was kind of distracting, but entertaining.
Wait, you're gonna blame your crappy golf game on the Cowboys being a distraction? That's fresh of you.
I actually played pretty well this weekend, to be honest with you. Saturday I played about as well as I've played in a long time. Really did.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Good. Well, you're gearing up and ready for our Fall Golf Classic that is coming up 2 weeks from today, September 30th, out at Olympia Hills. What are we down to, 8 foursomes left?
It's in that neighborhood, yeah.
All right, get yourself signed up, sasportstar.com. Benefiting San Antonio Sports, brought to you by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, presented by Flight by Yuengling, Jim Beam. We are 2 weeks away. We are in single digits as far as spots left. Go now, get signed up, sasportstar.com with your foursome.
I can't wait, and if you're listening, if you're already in, and once you get in, you want me to hit a shot or two for you, I'm happy to do so.
Go.
You know, you just pay
every time you do that, not every time, but you've lost people's balls before.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
It's okay because it's their balls and not mine.
Yes, exactly. But I find the fire, Joe, he's getting up there and the pressure's on him.
That's right.
Yeah.
No pressure. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. An embarrassing home loss for the Dallas Cowboys. Your day to react all day here on the Blitz. Hey, Rodney, what's up, man? You're on the Blitz.
Hey, yeah. You know, my deal is I've been a Cowboys fan all my life. Even though I was born in '65, I've been there since 1960. Joking around.
Yeah.
But I blame Jerry. I blame Jerry for the simple fact that he's like Al Davis. He has no business, and he won't let the coaches coach like they should. And draft the players or get the players that they need. He has to have his hands in it. You know, Mozzie Smith is a bust. I'm sorry to say he may be good, but he's a bust.
Now, Rodney, and I know Jerry is easy to blame, and I blame that man for a lot of things. But you realize he's got a full scouting department led by a guy named Will McClay, who has done an incredible job at drafting. You know, it's not like Jerry is making those decisions without an entire staff. Mozzie is a bust. I will give you that. But you look at some of the other guys that they have drafted, you got to give them credit for. If you're going to hammer him for one, I'll defend him on the other. You know, to put it all on Jerry, he has done a really nice job as a general manager putting together rosters that are able to compete, especially with some young talent. You know, if you want to point to a guy that hasn't worked out, whether it be a Mozzie Smith or Schoonmaker at this point, although he played well yesterday, I'll give you those. I mean, not every GM is perfect, but Jerry has done a nice job assembling a roster.
Even though Jerry came out and says, I'm the greatest general manager?
Well, I mean, look.
What number was Jerry wearing yesterday?
He did say that.
What number did Jerry wear yesterday? I didn't see him on the field.
I mean,
we have the great Micah Parsons. He didn't sniff Derrick Carr yesterday. I mean, he didn't even get close to him.
Exactly.
But everybody's going to say, Micah's the greatest. He's Defensive Player of the Year. That's all I heard.
I love you, Dak.
Uh-huh. And then there's that guy.
Yeah. Can't blame him for yesterday. Rodney, I know you just got to be somebody to be mad at and make it Jerry, and I'm with you there, but Jerry isn't making all the personnel decisions just on his own. He's getting all the information and taking the recommendations. And, you know, quite frankly, they needed a run stopper. They drafted Mozzie Smith. And to this point, that is a bust. That is a bust.
Thank you, Rodney.
That is a bust. Appreciate the call, Rodney.
Yeah, thus far. I mean, look, what has he played? I mean, he's had a year, and now bust. Perhaps you could start thinking that way. But look, again, Jerry had a pretty good team assembled last year when they got their butts kicked by the Green Bay Packers. This team, I don't think is as good as that team. I really don't. I thought the defense would be a little bit better. But, they walk out onto the field, and just something changed. From game 1 to game 2, that defense just looked complete opposite.
Yesterday's embarrassing loss is on the defense. I mean, the Cowboys scored, granted, field goals instead of touchdowns, but they scored a lot in the first half. When you go back and think about shows that we were doing in Oxnard, shows that we were doing leading up to this season, because they didn't do anything with the run game. And outside of CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson, what real threats do they have offensively? You start looking at that, and the idea was this defense with Mike Zimmer is going to be improved, going to be better. That's going to keep this Cowboy team in it. And the offense isn't going to be required to score 30 points a game. So Dak was asked after, dude, man, when you're the quarterback, you're sitting there watching your defense struggle. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, it's surprising, but it's the NFL. Hell, I'm thinking it'd be nice to be doing that on our side of the ball more than I'm worried or critiquing our defense. Obviously, that's a good team. I mean, Alvin Kamara has looked damn good. Derrick Carr put the ball where he needed to. That offense is rolling right now. I mean, we're 2 games in, but I'm not naive to their stats of, or whatever it was, the 9 straight, and then they walked into this game and continued on that. So, I mean, credit to the play caller over there, to that team of coming out, being ready on a noon start, and, it made it tough on our defense, which made it tough on the whole team. So I'm trying to get there with our offense.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Well, look, the offense hasn't looked overly great.
No.
The first 2 games. I mean, they haven't. But again, that's what I thought. I kind of figured that because of the lack of star power that they have. So I thought that defense would keep them in games where they would have an opportunity to win them Low scoring, ugly games. And at this point in time, I don't give a damn how you win. You win, right?
Well,
it doesn't matter.
The problem is with Dak Prescott. If you want to blame anything on Dak, here the defense is struggling, and the highest paid player in the National Football League doesn't do his part and lift the team. They're kicking field goals instead of touchdowns. So generally, yeah, we got to rely on the defense to be good, keep us in games, and we'll win them ugly, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there are going to be Sundays like yesterday where Dak Prescott, we got to put it on your shoulders, and you got to make it happen. CeeDee Lamb, you've got to get yourself open. You're a very well-paid wide receiver. You shouldn't have fewer targets in a game than Jalen Tolbert, but he did. I mean, that touchdown, that's what you expect. But Dak has to get CeeDee the ball, and those guys have to make things happen. And yesterday, the defense wasn't doing their part, and Dak Prescott didn't help the defense out by doing more offensively. They weren't getting first downs. They weren't converting on third down, settling for field goals. Defense couldn't stop anything yesterday. The offense didn't do anything to help out that defense either.
Boy, I'm so proud of you, Jason.
Well, dude, I always call it how I see it.
Oh, my goodness.
I call it
I'm
how
so
I
proud of
see
you.
it. Dak is, you can't blame yesterday's game on Dak, but at the same time, he didn't do enough as the quarterback of the team to help out the offense. Were they pressing because the defense was struggling? He says no.
It's hard to say that we're pressing, but obviously you're trying to play complementary football when your defense is struggling to stop a group. You want to do your part and score touchdowns and come back, and we weren't able to score touchdowns. I mean, we were able to move the ball up and down the field, but we couldn't score touchdowns. So I can't say that we were pressing necessarily. Going from last week to this week, as I said, there were some things that we wanted to get better at. We got better at third down this week, but now it's the red zone that I think we score some touchdowns. It makes the defense feel a little bit better, and it's a whole different feel within the game for both sides of the ball.
Well, especially if your offense is struggling a little bit or whatever the case may be, if you know that you're going to be in the game, it helps. But look, even Dak Prescott with this offense has got to know that if a team puts up 35 points, Cowboys are going to lose.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to put up points like
that. They had 35 in the first half.
That's what I'm saying. And so you've got to know. I mean, you're not coming back from that. And they knew when they went into the halftime locker room, they weren't coming back from that. They just don't have the offensive firepower that they need to put up points like they're going to have to do if the defense continues to play like that. And I think Dalvin Cook needs to see the field. I really do. The fact that they went to Deuce Vaughn as early as they did is just it tells you all you need to know. That Zeke's not getting it done, Rico Dowdle's not getting it done, and you got to go to Deuce Vaughn to try and provide a spark for that running attack. Why not? Why not put Dalvin Cook in the game? I mean, at this point in time, you got nothing to lose.
It was 21-13 when Jalen Brooks fell down and that ball got intercepted. And that ended up in a touchdown. I mean, and again, it's an interception that led to points. That does go on Dak Prescott's record, although hard to blame Dak Prescott when the receiver falls down. I mean, that's an easy interception. Late in the first half, that's still a game at that point. At that point, that game was over. When it was 21-13, you felt like, all right, if they can get some stops, the offense was playing well enough. If the defense could just, for the love of God, get a stop. Or if Dallas is able to score on that drive. I mean, now you're looking at a touchdown. Mm-hmm. You're looking at a one-point game. Maybe McCarthy gets all crazy and goes for two. Maybe it's tied up at halftime. Who knows? Instead, boom, it's another touchdown for the Saints, and then they just keep adding to it.
Yeah, I don't think that defense was stopping anybody yesterday.
No.
I don't think it would have mattered one way or the other. The Saints were doing whatever they wanted to do whenever they wanted to do it, and it was just a horrible defensive performance. I text you when I think it was 14-3, and I'm going, dude, can this defense stop somebody?
No.
And they were just not stopping it. And again, it was just amazes me with a guy like Micah Parsons, who everybody had penciled in as a defensive player of the year this year, and maybe he still becomes that. I'm not saying it's still very early, but not even to bother Derrick Carr. I didn't see anybody near him all day. It was crazy.
Derrick Carr.
Derek Carr, best quarterback on the field yesterday. There's no question about it.
He was great. Alvin Kamara was great. Jerry, that's what a run game will give you.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works. And, my gosh, they're not using Derrick Henry in Baltimore.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know. Let's talk more about it. Take your calls. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. After a wild day in the NFL, makes me really consider what's going to happen tonight, because you would think it would be all Eagles, but with the way yesterday went with dogs getting outright wins, who knows?
Crazy day, but that's why we love the NFL, right? That's one reason. The other reason is, you can make a bet on it.
Yes.
And I don't know how you did this weekend, but I didn't do
sucked.
so well. I didn't do so good either. But it's okay. I got another chance to make some money tonight, and that's for sure, because I'm going to go when I leave the show today and go to betus.com, and you ought to do the same thing. Look, it's so easy to sign up, so easy to make a deposit, and even better yet, when you win, it's so easy to get your money. betus.com, that's where you need to go. I've been going there to them for about 3 years now, and it is fantastic. And they have got a heck of a deal for you right now. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. You heard that right. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's simply unheard of. But that's what BetUS does. In fact, they offer a value other sportsbooks simply don't offer. Gambler's insurance, crypto bonuses if you're into that, and they have casino games, and there are bonuses for that as well. Look, BetUS is the best. Go there, put some action, get some action on the game tonight or this next weekend, but just do it. It's easy to sign up. It takes about 5 minutes. That's all it is. Get started today at betus.com. That's betus.com. Or you can call them at 1-800-MY-BET-US. 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS. It's where the game begins.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, more fallout from Dak's terrible performance. What did Jerry have to say?
And the Eagles and the Falcons duked it out last night. We'll recap that game as well. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you listening. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Check us out. You can comment there. Tell you the comments there are rather entertaining.
They are.
Go check them out. Go read them there at sasportstar.com. Cowboys, they have a game against the Ravens this week at home at Jerry World. We've got tickets to give away. You want to win. Just go to sasportstar.com and get yourself registered.
Yeah.
It is that simple. It is that easy. And I'll tell you, even when they get blown out, Cowboy games are a lot of fun.
It's fun going to the game.
Anytime you're at a live event like that,
yes.
It's a lot of fun, especially the pregame. And I discovered something that's been apparently happening for years that I never knew about until yesterday. But that big tailgate party that we went to, the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, was incredible.
Yeah, I had FOMO, I'll be honest with you. Seeing your stuff on Instagram and all the food, a lot of food,
like
a lot of fun.
A lot of beer, Yingling, obviously, a lot of flight, lager from Yingling, the food. It's the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party. I had a couple of people say, how do I get tickets to it? I got to be honest, I don't know. Just Google and there's a website. There's a company that puts those on, and the tickets are $100. But I'm telling you, for $100, the amount of food and the amount of alcohol that you can drink, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink. And they have celebrities there signing autographs and taking pictures. Yesterday it was Jay Novacek, Charles Haley, and Tony Hill.
Wow.
And there was some people, they did a suite upgrade contest where two people for a $20 donation for a charity, they won 2 tickets inside a suite.
Nice.
With all you can eat, all you can drink. It was a lot of fun, though. Lots of stuff. I didn't know that was happening. Now that I'm aware of it, that will be part of the new regular routine. It was incredible. And when we give away tickets and passes to that tailgate and game tickets, and we'll do that once a month, make it a priority to get to those events. I'm telling you, that thing was incredible.
Well, I thought, so for a noon game, you said it opens 2 hours before, and then it's open an hour after.
Correct. And for 3 o'clock games or night games, it's open for 3 hours before. And think about what you can eat and drink in 3 hours before a game. With bathrooms right there, by the way.
That's awesome.
Which is, you think about a lot of different things. It was a blast being at that tailgate. Want to thank the good people from Yingling and Flight by Yingling for taking us out there. The winners that we had last week, Josh and his wife Kim, they were out there. It was a great time. It was all great really until the game started.
Until kickoff.
Well, kickoff was still fun.
Well, the Saints scored pretty quick.
Well, no, that first drive took them a couple of minutes. The Cowboys didn't make a stop. Then the Cowboys, of course, respond with a field goal.
Yes.
And then you had the one-play drive, and then the Cowboys responded with the field goal. And then it became a who dat nation.
Yeah, field goals don't get it done. They just don't. And I know Brandon Aubrey is amazing. The guy doesn't miss. But you got to score touchdowns in the NFL to win. Although The Washington Commanders didn't know that because they kicked 7 field goals yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah, Pittsburgh finally scored a touchdown and won a game, but, it's all about the defense. Now, Micah Parsons, after the game, said this had nothing to do with Zimmer's defensive scheme.
To me, it had nothing to do with the scheme. I thought Zim called a pretty good game. Now, there was a man play we happened in the screen, but at the end of the day, that's life. You know what I'm saying? You always no play's going to be a perfect call. But at the end of the day, I believe that we just got outplayed. I don't think, whoever played on that field, everyone didn't play to 100%. That's just me being accountable and just saying the truth. And we all got to play better. There's some plays I wish I had that. Just schematically things that I wish I was in a different position. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I believe I'll still go out there and give 100. I just feel like, there's a lot of BS into that.
I applaud Micah for saying that because, again, players have to make plays.
Sure.
Coaches can only do so much, right? They'll try to put you in the position that you need to be in, but at the end of the day, players have to make plays. And nobody on that defense made any plays yesterday.
But when I hear that from Micah Parsons, who I appreciate taking accountability, self-accountability, starting with him as the leader of this defense, soon to be highest paid guy on that defense, and maybe highest paid defensive player in that defense. But is he telling us that those defensive players didn't give their best effort? Is that what you take from that?
Yeah.
Because, Mike Zimmer knows how to scheme defenses. He knows how to motivate players. So if you're telling me, Micah, it's not scheming, it's effort, or is the roster of those guys just not talented enough across the board? But that answer gives me more questions than it does answers. Now, watching Get Up this morning, old Coach Ryan, who's on TV, who wanted that job in Dallas, who didn't get that job in Dallas because of Zimmer, so you always have to keep that in mind. He was blaming Zimmer. I heard that man on TV this morning, Rex Ryan, say if they had hired me, that wouldn't have happened. Because, you're here to stop this guy and stop those offenses, and you look at his last couple years in Minnesota, where was his defensive ranked? He put it all on the coordinator. He put it all on Zimmer. Now, is that sour grapes because he didn't get the job and Zim did?
Well, maybe. Part of it is. Look.
Or is there some truth into what he was saying?
Well, I'm not sure what the scheme was. Micah says it wasn't Zimmer's scheme. All right, that's what he says. So I'm going to go with that. And players have to make plays. You're a football player. All right, so what happened was the Saints just made more plays. They were there. They were, if you want to say they were better prepared, but they went out and they played tougher football than the Cowboys. It's just that simple. The Cowboys got pushed around everywhere. And so, Zimmer maybe the scheme for the Saints was bad. Maybe it just didn't work out. Or Kubiak, the new OC there with New Orleans, just outcoached Mike Zimmer.
Well,
but at the end of the day, players have to make plays. And the greatest, pass rusher since Lawrence Taylor didn't do anything.
He didn't. Although, man, he was getting double teamed, and that's going to happen. He's got to learn how to fight through those, but other guys have to step up when that happens. I look at, the play count for Overshown. He led the team in tackles a week ago and barely got on the field yesterday. I don't know why, if he's dealing with something or didn't have a good week of practice, so Zim punished him and that cost the defense. I don't know, but you listen to Rex Ryan and you go, all right, because you try to take in everything if you're trying to be fair.
Yeah.
And you could question a lot of things about that defense because they never made adjustments either. That defense looked a lot like what we saw a year ago when Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator and the Packers were running all over the Dallas Cowboys. And the same things that we saw yesterday, we saw in that game. It's a different coordinator, obviously. A lot of the same guys. So did the Saints take the film of the Green Bay game and said, we can do this because we've got the skill to do it? Is it the players? There's not enough good players on there. But the other part is I never saw adjustments made by the Cowboys defense. You saw them just march down the field on the first drive. You expect to see something different on the second drive. Well, it was one play, and it was a long pass. Okay, so let's go to the third drive, and it looked exactly the same. It looked exactly the same. The Saints says, this is what we're going to do. Until you stop us, we're not going to change, and the Cowboys never stopped them.
They never did. I mean, not even close. Then their drives, they weren't like short drives. You know, the Saints were marching down the field. I think I read a stat, 5 of their scoring drives were 69 or plus, 69 yards or more. And it's just, I mean, that's just marching down the field, and you can't stop us. Now, look, I'll give the Saints some credit. Obviously, they've the new offensive coordinator is obviously making a difference. Derrick Carr obviously feels better in that system, and they're moving. They're doing things. They're doing things different with that Saints offense. How long will it last? Will it last the whole time? Remains to be seen. But right now, they're a hot ball club, and what they're doing on offense is working.
They are. And just for funsies, Saints scoring drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. 1 play, 70 yards, 9 seconds. 4 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. 11 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes and 55 seconds. 3 plays, 20 yards, 23 seconds. It just dumb. 13 plays, 70 yards, 8 minutes there, that long scoring drive in the third quarter. And it's just completely unacceptable. But, I mean, time of possession was, ultimately, when it was all said and done, 30-31 to 29-29. I mean, it was about even. Third downs, goal, red zone. Cowboys in the red zone, 0 for 3.
Yeah. And that was a problem last year. It's been a problem in the past. It's still a problem. Stopping the run is still a problem. I would imagine Derrick Henry's probably licking his chops. He's got to be, right? Coming into Dallas this week.
They got to give him the ball.
Well, they do have to do that.
They got their own issues.
And I'm not – yes, they do. They're 0-2, and
I mean,
man.
And I don't want to get too sidetracked on Baltimore right now, but they were up 10. Yeah, I might be a little salty on this because I had the Ravens plus 8.5. You're up 10. You've got Derrick Henry, and you don't use him to close out the game, and you lose? How?
Gardner Minshew. Minshew mania.
I got it.
Yes, it's real.
You're at home, and you've got Derrick Henry, and you don't use him to close out the game?
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it because they didn't use him in week 1 either. They started with him. Derrick Henry was running the field. He scored a touchdown. Derrick Henry's game is to wear the defense down.
Yes.
That's what he does. And I don't see any indication that he's lost any of that. So unless Harbaugh has seen something that the rest of us have not, I don't know. I can't explain why they're not using him late in games.
I don't know. I mean, he'll have his coming out party Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Although Ravens lose the opener, you figure they're going to come back in game 2 and get it squared away. Cowboys get blown out. How do they respond this week? It's going to be interesting because the NFL, you look at yesterday's game, there was a lot of weird games, a lot of upsets in there. Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan this morning said, yeah, it was just one of those days.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, this is the NFL, and we've all had these days. Certainly didn't see it coming. Very disappointing. But, at the same time, we've got a lot of confidence in this team. We got confidence in, Coach Zimmer. Obviously, that was a tough outing yesterday for the defense in terms of, how the Saints executed. And, hats off to them. They did the younger Kubiak did a real nice job there for the Saints, and they executed and, were pretty much flawless on their first 6 possessions. So, those are things that we've got to tighten up and got to go to work. And I'm confident that, that we'll get the job done. Mike's been in this league a long time and very confident in this football team, our personnel, and, we'll get out here and we'll correct things and make the adjustments we need to make and move forward.
Well, let's hope so, because they are going to have a desperate Baltimore team coming in at 0-2. They certainly don't want to go 0-3. So I think both teams are going to be desperate, and it should be a fun game next week.
Cowboys better be just as desperate.
They have to be.
They better be just as desperate this Sunday when they host the Baltimore Ravens. Let's go around the NFL. Talk some college football as well as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, you saw both Rob and AJ wearing 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star shirts. Two varieties there. You had a nice fishing shirt, a nice golf shirt. They've all come from Sammy's Embroidery Club. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. If you need t-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots right there across from the McDonald's, or go to the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
Hey, it's me, your liver. You know, the organ that helps you recover every weekend after pizza, donuts, and all those drinks. When you have a headache, you take an aspirin. You have a stomach ache, you pop an antacid. But where's the love for your best buddy, the liver? The least that you could do to help me stay healthy is take Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver tablets contain high-quality, all-natural ingredients like milk thistle, globe artichoke, and turmeric extracts, which are proven to keep me healthy and you feeling your best. Active Liver provides an easy daily detox and helps protect me all year long. So let me make you an offer you can't refuse. You take care of me with Active Liver, and I keep taking care of you. Capiche?
See for yourself why Active Liver is Scandinavia's #1 liver health supplement. You can find Active Liver at CVS and online at Amazon, Target.com, or directly from NewNordicUSA.com. Again, find it in stores at CVS or online at Amazon, Target.com, or NewNordicUSA.com.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Before you fire up that grill, get into Tri-County Meat Market because that great meal starts with great meat. Locally owned and full service, Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. Steaks, beef ribs, pork ribs, their seasoned fajitas, chicken, poppers. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, online at TriCountyMeat.com.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue is the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio. Stop in for a signature chopped Baker potato. Pick up brisket, turkey, and mac and cheese for family dinner. Order freshly made breakfast tacos. Whatever you choose. Smoky Moe's Barbecue serves great tasting Texas barbecue fast and friendly. Tailgating? Order Smoky Moe's Barbecue for your perfect tailgate or game watching party. They'd love to see you at any area Smoky Moe's. Order for pickup or delivery at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com. Smoky Moe's. The pit is lit.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, Stephen Jones said today he expects his tight end, Jake Ferguson, to be back this week. He did not play yesterday. Of course, that blowout loss to the Saints. Cowboys play host to Baltimore this Sunday. How about those Houston Texans, 2-0? They beat Chicago last night. They travel to Minnesota this week. And the Carolina Panthers announced today that quarterback Bryce Young is benched. Andy Dalton will get the start this week. And Texas is number 1.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday afternoon on the radio. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always tune in and watch there on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're listening online, sasportstar.com, one of the many apps, we certainly appreciate that.
Absolutely we do. And if you go to our YouTube page, there's always some very colorful comments. And you can be a part of that conversation as well. It's a nice little community in there. And, you know, when you're a keyboard warrior, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It goes with the territory. Oh, look, the Saints just scored again.
Oh, they did.
Wait,
wow.
no, wait, that's a highlight. It just felt very, very real.
Looks like an Alvin Kamara run.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
If you had Alvin Kamara on your fantasy team, congratulations.
Yes. I'm going to lose to that Bob Ballou guy this week.
You're 0-2?
Yeah, I'm going to be 0-2.
0-2.
Man. Well, Josh Allen didn't exactly have to do much, so I didn't get many points from old Josh.
Yeah,
That hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get much from Patrick Mahomes yesterday, but I'm still going to win my game.
Well, that's good. Good for you.
Unless Bijan goes Alvin Kamara tonight, I'm in pretty good shape. So we're just not going to talk about it until this game is over tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Football you can listen to here on 94.1, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. Everything gets going at 6:30. Right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
The Colorado State game had a lot going on Saturday night.
Yes, it did.
Now, Colorado got the win. Congrats, Dion. He got a big win. Shedeur played well. I didn't see a lot of the game. I was up in Dallas and kind of going back and forth with a variety of other games, and we'll go over all the college football coming up in a couple of minutes. But, you know, that was a big win for that Buffaloes program because they had to go on the road, hostile environment, and they ultimately got it done.
They did. They got it done. But Shedeur,
here we go.
After the game,
Yeah,
I guess the Colorado State quarterback was talking trash.
Yeah.
And so Shedeur just tells him to basically to go.
Did not want to shake his hand
Didn't
after
want to
the
shake
game.
his hand.
The sportsman-like. I mean, so Colorado can talk all kinds of trash leading up to the game, but Colorado State can't. Those are the
Apparently
rules,
not,
and you've got to understand them.
Well, and so he didn't shake his hand. It's all caught on video, which
Yeah.
is the problem because that's not a good look. I don't care what the Colorado State guy said, and he handled it pretty well, I'll be honest with you. He goes, okay, dude, whatever. Keep talking, and walked away. But, it's just not a good look for Shedeur. And I'm really, as talented as that guy is, somebody's going to draft him, obviously, because he's talented. But I'm afraid his stock is plummeting right now. I really do.
As long as he can win, somebody's going to give him a chance.
You're right.
And that's what, Carolina benched Young today. They're going with Andy Dalton. They're looking for another quarterback already. The tea leaves are there. Now, speaking of that Colorado State game, former Spur Derrick White making the news from an incident from that particular game. Of course, remember, he played at Colorado, so he's an alumni. He was on the sideline, and, NBA stars do that. Hell, you saw it looked like half the Spurs and Manu were on the sidelines for the Texas UTSA game, which was very cool. So Derrick White, a Colorado alum, in Colorado swag, on the field, enjoying the game, probably talking trash and all that kind of stuff. Well, earlier in the game, he kind of gets into it with a Colorado State fan, just verbal, nothing big. Later in the game, with the game basically, all right, Colorado's going to win this game. A man who's very confused because he's got a Colorado State hat on but a Utah T-shirt. Takes a swing and hits Derrick White in the head. Now, he had to jump up a little bit, but he hit him hard enough to knock his hat right off.
Yeah.
And then Derrick started, and then a lot of people are like, dude, he ain't worth it. And it kind of ended there. There is video that TMZ has put out of a guy taking a fist to the head of one Derrick White.
And that's not good. Derrick White's probably one of the most laid-back dudes that you'll meet.
Yep.
But, if somebody backhands you in the head and knocks your hat off, you're going to get a little pissed off about that.
Just a little bit.
Yes. So I don't blame Derrick White but luckily for him, he had some friends there, handlers or whatever you want to call them, and cooler heads prevailed.
Cooler heads did prevail. I do. Alcohol, passion, frustration. All the fights at games. Yesterday.
You were involved in a fight.
No, I was not involved in a fight.
All right.
I was not involved in a fight. A fight broke out next to Rob Thompson and myself. We had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. And I'm glad that it ended with just words and a lot of security guys, and they didn't even kick him out because they didn't throw punches. But the people that were next to us, there was 4 empty seats because they all went to the bathroom and to get more beer. And so the guy in the row right behind us, a Saints fan, was walking in the row in front of us trying to get back to his seat. And the guy behind us said something. The Saint fan said something back. And literally 2 seats over from where I am sitting, they were empty seats at the time. These guys are now going back and forth, leaning into it. And the Saints fans, friends, were trying to hold him back, and I think he would have really hurt this guy if his friends were to let him go. And so there was a lot of that. And Rob Thompson and I are both just kind of standing back saying, we're not getting in this. I'm starting to reach for my phone because I know these videos. I'm not getting in the middle of that.
Well, you'd have been selling it to TMZ.
I would have.
Exactly.
I would have. Just a lot of talk, but security got there pretty quick.
Here, and I get,
but your adrenaline gets going when that happens right in front of you.
I get it, but you know what? If your team's getting clobbered on the field, I think the other side, the fans on the other side have to, they have every right to needle you a little bit.
I mean, honestly, people want to give you crap. You got to take it.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
You're talking about not kids. Either one of these, you would say, are dumb kids. Like you're grown-ass adults and you're getting into a fight at the game. And willing to get kicked out of the game and getting arrested for it all. Jawing between a row. And fortunately for Rob and I, nothing really happened there other than some words.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might be doing the show alone today.
No,
bailing you out, calling.
No, I mean,
hey, best bail bonds.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got offices in Dallas for a reason.
Yeah, they do.
210-225-2121. And yeah, I mean, but no, I wasn't going to step into that.
No,
I mean, I said to the first guy, I was like, dude, come on, man. And Rob pulls me back. Don't get in the middle of that. That's all I was going to do. I mean, I'm, let them go. I mean, but Rob's a big dude. I've seen Rob break up bar fights. He just puts his big-ass body in front of people and stops things.
Yeah.
He wasn't, I mean, now there was a lady also sitting in front of us that he would have had to try to get around, and she was just looking at us the entire game with her tramp stamp eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw the picture that
which
Rob
was rather
posted.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
She also had a barcode, QR code thing on her shoulder. It didn't work either.
It didn't list prices?
No, nothing.
I
nothing.
think,
I mean, we checked.
Oh, yeah?
We did check, but
all right.
I'm not sure what that was all about. But as bad as that game was, we were trying to stay entertained.
Got to stay entertained somehow.
Yeah, and at least we're not Bronco fans. Although they've got a quarterback that tells it the way it is. Did you hear Bo Nix after the game yesterday?
Bo, can you take us through the interception in the end zone?
Yeah. Drop back, threw it to the other team.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what else could you add? Drop back, threw a pass, and threw it to the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Bo Nix. Look, Bo's going to be all right, I think. I think he's going to be okay. There was more criticism of y'all's hero, Sean Payton.
How's he our hero?
For not going for the onside kick there late.
Dude.
It just didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right.
He didn't do it.
Well, you have no package. You have no stones. Come on.
Wow. Did you hear his quarterback? There's no confidence in his quarterback. I mean, he's not like Callahan in your quarterback.
Well,
how about your Titans?
What?
How about your Titans?
Hey, Will Levis is just a bonehead.
Oh, now he's a bonehead.
Well, he is. He's
2
making
weeks ago, he was the greatest
mistakes.
thing ever.
I thought he
Mr.
was.
Mayonnaise. You ordered his mayonnaise perfume.
Well, he throws a stupid pick six in week one. And then yesterday, I don't know what the hell that was. They're in field goal range. They could have gone up 10-0 early in this thing. And he tries to pitch it out to the running back. And
his coach went nuts on him.
He did. And he should have.
Yeah, or maybe not. Not in public like that.
I'm generally pretty composed. I think you guys have seen that for the most part. That one set me off. And I'm human like everybody else. I have blackout moments where I'll lose my mind. I try not to. I try my best to keep it together. But that one was hard for me to watch in the moment. And yeah, I got to have a little bit better awareness that there's cameras on me, and I'm not up in the box yelling at anybody. I'm right there in the front of everything, and the cameras are pointed right at me. So probably a little bit of a lesson learned for me in that regard. Don't regret my feelings about it, but yeah, I'm sure there's some things I could probably do better when it comes to that.
I love that.
Dude.
Don't regret my feelings about it.
No, and you know what? I don't regret him yelling at Levis either. Yell at him. You make a bonehead play like that, you deserve to get dressed down in front of the entire world. That was just stupid. They're in field goal range, for goodness sake. Could have taken a double-digit lead, but instead, you turn the football over.
Yeah. Now, Will Levis, the quarterback that you have now, because you didn't like what you had in Malik Willis. And if I remember right on Friday, you were telling me the Packers have no chance to win because of what they have at quarterback, and he's awful. He looked pretty damn good yesterday.
Well, Anthony Richardson was pretty damn bad yesterday.
We're talking about Malik Willis. Don't try to deflect here. Don't try to deflect here. Malik Willis looked good yesterday playing for the Green Bay Packers, except on one particular play, on a third down play, he should have actually thrown the ball and did not.
I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that third down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Matter of fact, the official came over to me, Sean came over to me and said, we saw your center thrown up on the ball. Do you want us to take him out next time? I said, absolutely. Please do that because, you're talking about a critical situation, and it's third down, and I've never had a throw with vomit on a football. So I don't know. I don't think Malik probably didn't appreciate that.
Well, no, he didn't appreciate it.
Dude, puke and rally, let's go.
And he didn't even know, right? I mean, you get the ball snapped to you, and you're going, what the? That's pretty bad. So he did the best he could.
The video is brutal.
It is.
Coach LaFleur with, yeah, all right. Why didn't you throw it? Dude, there was puke all over that ball. I'm not happy. I need to go wash my hands.
Yeah, I'd have taken that ball and just slung it out of bounds.
To the visiting sideline. Let
somewhere.
those guys. Surprise!
Dude, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Don't throw that in the stands.
Awful. Awful.
Yep.
Hey, your boy Arch Manning looked really good the other day.
Man.
Saturday night.
I feel bad for Quinn. I feel bad for UTSA. Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:15. Firsthand, up-close look at the greatness that is Arch Manning. Now, we knew the guy could throw, and I know they were winning in a blowout. We know UTSA is a good football team.
Yes.
But those throws were on the money.
Oh,
and then that run, that poor kid from UTSA is going to see that highlight the rest of his life, his broken ankles and all. And he's a good player.
Yes.
Who knew Arch could do that?
Nobody. But his dad and mom were at the game.
Of course.
Took a picture with Arch after the game. And Cooper, who is the funniest Manning there is.
Yes.
Said,
which is saying a lot.
He obviously gets his speed from his mom.
Mm-hmm. And it was
Cooper's not an athlete.
Either Peyton or Eli, one of them said that Archie's genes skipped a generation with his athleticism, his athletic gene. Because it didn't go to Peyton or Eli, and it all went to Arch.
Yeah.
And watching him play, it's man, Longhorn fans are just stoked. And now number one in the country.
Number one in the country.
Georgia right around the corner. They got some games. Yeah, let's talk about what we saw over the weekend in college football. How about A&M on the road, weather delay, big win, that 99-yard drive. Connor, it was nice.
Yeah. You're done.
That's why they invented the portal, I suppose, because I wouldn't start him as long as Reed is healthy. He's my quarterback moving forward.
No question.
He looked that good. Let's talk some college football coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because of course you do. You know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential, and open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're down in Corpus, up in Dallas, maybe getting into a fight at a Cowboy game, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $79.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app. It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO-free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO-free any-size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Same for Instagram. Make sure you get signed up for our Fall Golf Classic coming up 2 Mondays from today. Brought to you by the law office of Jesse Hernandez. Flight by Yingling. Jim Beam. Going to be a great time. Want to thank our friends from Flight. Renee just dropped off my backpack from the Dallas trip.
That's
here,
nice
here at the
of
radio station. Yes.
Why'd you make Renee do that?
I didn't make him do anything. Because we were at the game yesterday, went to the game and the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party beforehand, which we will give away passes to that tailgate party a couple more times this football season. About once a month we're going to be somewhere. We're going to do that. It's incredible.
It looked like it.
You get a chance to go. I'm glad I got to experience it. So, but we went to the game, and then in the game, when things were getting well out of hand in the second half, I got a notice on my phone that my 6 o'clock flight was delayed to like after 7:30. So I changed to the 4:45 flight, which meant I did not have time to get back to the truck to get my bag, which just had my dirty clothes from Saturday night in it.
Oh, that's great to do to Renee.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was nothing of value or that I needed right away in that bag.
Well, he had to smell that the whole way back
in
home.
A bag. There's
I'm
nothing
just
to
saying,
smell. I
that
mean,
poor guy.
He's fine.
He's a hell of a nice guy.
He is a great guy. He just dropped
Man.
off the bag.
Yeah.
Which is good. I appreciate that.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some air fresheners in there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's not like we were in Houston sweating our asses off. I mean, I mean, they're fine. They're fine.
You owe Renee big time. Big time.
Sure.
All right.
Sure. I mean,
Renee, if you're listening, Minix owes you.
I owe you. I will buy you all the flight by Yingling at our golf tournament 2 Mondays from right now. Get your foursome signed up at sasportstar.com. We are 2 weeks away, damn near sold out. I think at last check, I think we had 8 foursomes left.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's in that neighborhood for sure. And it's so much fun, man. It is so much fun out there. Just everybody's having a great time. You never know what you're going to get into or run into. And the scenery is fantastic. And the golf course is pretty good, too.
And you're not going to be thirsty. I can promise you that.
That is true.
Which is true anytime you're with Renee.
That's absolutely true.
Yes. So we were up there, went up there Saturday night to Dallas, and we were hanging out with, the rest of the Flight by Yingling crew, Bobby and Renee and some others. And we're at a place up there in Dallas where they have all the games on for college football, which was great because, on the plane I'm watching, a lot of the Aggie game, which was perfect because that rain delay happened right after we took off. So I was able to get back to the hotel and to a bar to see the majority of that game. That was a massive win for Texas A&M.
On the road like that, yeah, against any SEC team, even though Florida's a little bit down this year, but still, yes, I agree.
Well, A&M is down this year, or at least down a quarterback, and a lot of questions about how good this Aggie team really is. But you look at that long drive. I mean, for them to battle the weather, stay in there, tackle well, play well, you're right. I mean, you could say Florida's down, but I think you could also say A&M is a little bit down after the disappointing opening loss to Notre Dame. We don't know how good this A&M team is, but I do think A&M has found themselves a quarterback.
I don't think there's any question about it. That young man performed well against Florida, and they've got Bowling Green coming up this week. They ought to win that, and then let's go. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, I agree. I think poor Connor Wegman, he might want to be eyeing that portal.
Not during the season.
Well, not during the season, but he's in trouble.
Well, and you got other quarterback questions. Michigan is making a change at quarterback. Although Sark says nothing changes if Arch steps in for Ewers this week because of injury, especially with Georgia and Oklahoma. I got hold me in check. I can't look past Oklahoma and just keep talking about Georgia.
Sure you can.
But could you imagine if when Quinn is healthy, and apparently the injury is not as serious as originally thought or how it looked, but if Arch plays and continues to play like he did against UTSA, how do you put him back on the bench?
Well, he's going to. Look, but I wouldn't play Quinn this week. There's no reason to. Texas ought to handle Louisiana Monroe without a problem. Let Arch play the game and let Quinn heal up. You're ready for Oklahoma and Georgia back-to-back and go from there. There's just no reason to. And I think Sark will probably be very, very cautious with his main quarterback in this football game. There's no reason to play him.
You look at it, you go from there, you see what's up, and go. The rest of college football, how about Washington State upsetting Washington in the Apple Cup? Big certainly in my household because my wife and her whole family, they're all Wazoo types. And with the change of the Pac-12 to the Pac-2, some of those traditional rivals got moved up. You had Oregon State as well. But Washington State getting that upset win over Washington, that was pretty massive. College football all together on Saturday went as expected, although what happened to Georgia?
Georgia escaping with their life.
Now, by the time we left where we were watching, because, the fights came on, and then we got back to the hotel bar, and we got them to put on the Georgia-Kentucky game, and it was field goal fest at that point. Did Kentucky just play out of their mind defensively, or Georgia? I mean, what happened in that game?
Georgia couldn't do anything offensively, and it was 9-3 at one time. Kentucky was ahead, and
good old SEC slobber knocker.
Yeah, so I guess, but that's the reason Texas jumped them this week in the AP poll. Georgia no longer number one. Texas is number one. So it's going to be interesting to see how those things work, obviously, before we get to that big showdown between Texas and Georgia.
So we can officially say Texas is back?
I think we can. You're number one in the AP poll after 3 weeks. That's pretty good.
And Tessitore said that over a decade ago. And finally you can actually say Texas is back.
You could.
Texas is back, folks.
There it is.
Hey, they look good. It's all the way around. Texas looks good. Arch comes in, they don't miss a beat. In fact, he was simply fantastic, that guy. But their defense is good. They've got a lot of fast players, and I don't know. Georgia could be in trouble.
It's, a couple of weeks away. The idea of running the table, I don't know. But what Sark has built is pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible how quickly Sark has turned it around with what they've been able to do. They're impressive. We'll talk with Jeff Traylor coming up about the, just up close and personal. I don't think anybody is surprised by what happened. I know you could have gone into that game hoping for, the NIU type of miracle, except for UTSA is finding themselves, and Texas is not Notre Dame bad, right? There's not a flaw on that Texas team. I can't find one. That Texas team is just loaded up and down. Concerned about running back depth as a long season continues, but if they can stay healthy as possible, this Texas team is legitimately back and has a chance. But with this extended playoff, that just adds so many more games, which when you're questioning your depth becomes a bigger concern, because those bigger games and the playoffs, you're just adding to the wear and tear.
Well, and again, though, Texas, I think, is very fortunate with their schedule. First year in the SEC. There's no doubt about that. But, look, their wide receivers are solid. Those, all of them. They all look good. So, Texas, they've got some talent. There's no doubt.
For a lot of you, DirecTV types that didn't cancel, at least you got to watch the game.
Yeah.
They finally got that thing resolved.
Finally got it done.
It took too long.
Well, they had to get it done.
They had to get it done, but what took so long? It's almost like talking about Dak and his deal with the Cowboys, or CD and his deal with. Why does it take so long when it comes out to be exactly what you thought it was going to be to begin with?
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how much did DirecTV lose? I'm one of I don't know how many customers that canceled. So I saw that news and went, too late. I'm already gone, DirecTV. And I ain't coming back.
Ain't coming back. All good.
Let's talk about what we saw yesterday in the NFL. A bizarre day in the NFL with a lot of underdogs winning outright. How about those Texans? Big win last night on Sunday Night Football. We're talking about it next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the Hurt app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it. You don't want to wait for an injury to happen, so download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. You can get the Hurt app in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about it, plus the Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, more fallout from Dak's terrible performance. What did Jerry have to say?
And the Eagles and the Falcons duked it out last night. We'll recap that game as well. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Connecticut quality water softeners, they are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Connecticut is absolutely the best. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America. And you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage. And why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Connecticut. You won't regret it. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome, and you are listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You did some grilling over the weekend. You know you took photos of that great meat on your grill. Upload them to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com. Every Thursday, we judge meat, give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Markets. Upload those photos. And while you're at sasportstar.com, you can register to win 2 tickets and a parking pass to this Sunday's Cowboys-Ravens game. And get your picks already for next week for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge.
Wow. guess I'll turn that on.
Yeah,
I gotta check and see how I did this week.
Yeah,
I don't think I did very good.
I don't know that many of us did well on the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, although somebody is going to win the $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, and somebody is going to be in the clubhouse lead for that $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets. But it was a weird week. Only the books won this week in picking games, because you had a lot of outright or underdogs winning outright. And even then, other games that, favored teams just didn't cover, but it was the outright winners. Like, for example, I'll just talk about me. I had the Ravens, 8.5-point favorites over the Raiders. Raiders win that game, 26-23. I had the Lions, Tampa Bay, outright winner. I had Seattle by 3.5. They win by a field goal in overtime.
Yeah, I had Seattle also this week. It went with Jacksonville, too, thinking Cleveland was as bad as the Cowboys made them look. Obviously, that wasn't the case. It was one of those weird – San Francisco gets beat. Just crazy games. And the Dallas game, too.
Yeah.
Nuts. Nobody saw that coming.
Well,
Nobody.
And I had the Colts, too, and Green Bay beat them. Malik Willis, your favorite dude, beat them outright. Now, let's look at some of the interesting games, because we'll overreact plenty on the Dallas Cowboys. Through 2 weeks, who's really good and who isn't? I don't think any of us saw both San Francisco and Detroit, the two said to be best teams in the NFC, both losing on Sunday. Detroit lost at home, San Francisco on the road. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, aren't they both former Carolina quarterbacks too? Looking good in other places, although the coaching staffs have changed there in Carolina. Now, we talked about this last week, the number of West Coast teams that were playing in the noon kickoff window, or the earlier kickoff window, 1 o'clock Eastern. They tend to struggle. San Francisco without McCaffrey, I don't know if you could say that's an excuse. I just think the Vikings outplayed them.
Sam Darnold, man, that guy has resurrected his career. Him and Baker Mayfield, both looking good early in the season.
Baker has found a home in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And I'm a Baker fan, have been since he was at Lake Travis, except for that short time he was at Oklahoma. Didn't root for him then. But I like Baker. And he's looking like he's matured and figured it out. They're 2-0, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Lions, 1-1. San Francisco, they give up that 97-yard touchdown bomb.
Yeah.
The most impressive thing on that long play was the referee. Did you see the official? Go find that video if you haven't seen it. There is a ref that's running stride for stride with Jefferson and the defensive backs right around midfield. Then the catch is made, and somehow this ref is staying with those group of speedy wide receivers, switches fields to stay out of the way, and then, kind of reverses field a little bit as Jefferson was changing fields, and then he's backpedaling into the end zone. That dude, how fast was he going? That was incredible to watch.
That was impressive, but that's a problem for Minnesota, because I don't know how bad Jefferson's hurt. Went out in the third quarter of that game with an ankle injury, so haven't seen. That could be an issue for them.
You look at some other – I don't want to know – I wouldn't call this a surprise, because I picked Kansas City to beat Cincinnati. The Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25, a missed extra point, and some calls that went Kansas City's way, certainly the difference in that football game.
Yeah, conspiracy theorists all over the place, because Taylor Swift is there cheering, and that looks good, and you got a phantom pass interference call there that set him up.
Hold on. Did you really think that was phantom?
No, it was the right call.
You can't run through the back of a receiver.
It was the right
situation.
call. I'm just saying.
But it was the benefit of a call.
It was.
You want to talk about Cowboy fans in a building when they show a face mask on a Cowboy running back that doesn't get called in the first quarter. You talk about some mad Cowboy fans. Bengal fans, you got more things to be concerned about. But are you concerned? It always feels like under Joe Burrow, Cincinnati gets off to slow starts, and they figured out, we know they're a good football team. Are they going to show it? The team that I thought might be a good football team that I am worried about, the Los Angeles Rams of Anaheim County. Now 0-2, curb stomped by Kyler Murray and the Cardinals 41-10.
Now, it is no excuse, but, boy, they've been decimated by injury. I mean, both of their receivers are now out. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, both are injured, so not a lot for Matt Stafford to work with. But, again, that's the NFL, and that's what happens. But Kyler Murray looked good yesterday, and his young wide receiver as well.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr., saying all the right things, did all the right things. For Kyler Murray, probably his best game as a pro, keeping plays alive for a ridiculous amount of time, looking like he was back in high school up there in the Dallas area, just running around. I saw a highlight this morning. He ran around and held the ball for 14 seconds and then threw a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone.
Well, and nobody could tackle him.
Yeah.
Just slippery, man.
Well,
I mean,
if Kyler Murray actually has it figured out with the coaching staff that they now have, I mean, clearly Cliff Kingsbury got as much as he could out of Kyler, but he couldn't, right? For Kyler to play the way he did, the throws that he was making, keeping plays alive, and with I would say a legit superstar wide receiver like he has in Harrison, because he had Hopkins there for a while, and they played well together, but Hopkins was getting up there. Maybe all that preseason hype around Arizona is going to prove to be true.
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so.
I mean,
still Kyler Murray. He'll remember he's Kyler Murray.
They should have beaten Buffalo in the first week. They
didn't.
They were up big, and they couldn't. You're right. But you look at the Rams, now 0-2 on the season, and a ton of injuries.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. But San Francisco now 1-1. Arizona 1-1. Seattle 2-0.
Seattle
leading that division right now.
2-0. Well, and Geno Smith has played well.
He has
this year, although not great. Seattle defensively has some issues. But is New England ultimately going to be a better team than we thought they were going to be?
I think yes. You have to say yes. I mean, those guys, they win game one that nobody thought they were going to win, and they gave Seattle all they could handle in week two. So you have to believe that, they're a much better team than we thought going into the season.
The Jets beat your Titans. That was a must-win game for the New York Jets.
It was.
24-17. I'm sure you were glued to your television watching Mayo Guy, your guy.
No.
Eating just a
really
mayonnaise sandwich.
I wasn't. But look, I mean, even just from what I saw, even Aaron Rodgers was – I'm not sure what that guy has. Now, he made some clutch throws, I will say, to ultimately take the lead. So I'll give him that, and he still knows how to win. But look, the Titans gave that game away. They gave the game away in week one. They could easily be 2-0. And their quarterback just has his head squarely up his behind when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. They got a hell of a defense. They just, when you give the ball away, I don't care how good your defense is.
Washington gets their first win for Jaden Daniels.
Well, they have 7 field goals in that game.
They beat the New York Giants 21-18. Did the Giants get a touchdown, or was it all field goals in that game?
No, the Giants got a touchdown. 3 of them, yeah.
What?
Well, they didn't have a kicker. Okay?
All right.
Now, how boneheaded is that?
Well,
Brian Daboll says, well, I thought he was going to be okay.
Is that Brian Daboll's fault?
Yes.
No. It's their GM's fault.
The GM?
It's the GM. The GM signs players.
I get that, but if your coach, you don't know if your kicker's healthy or not?
I think he was just covering for his idiot general manager that we all think is an idiot after watching him on Hard Knocks.
I tell you what, I just think your head coach has got to know whether you've got a kicker or not. I mean, how do you go into a game with a kicker?
I'm with you. You should. And, you kind of say that jokingly, setting you up to watch your head explode, which worked out perfectly. Because you heard some of the comments. And if you found it on video, some reporter asked him about his job security, and he had that death stare. He answered it, I'm not worried about that.
He's not worried
and just stared.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please fire me and get me out of this misery. That buyout is wonderful.
Well, look, if you're the Giants now, why don't you just tank? You get rid of your quarterback, draft another one, and, I mean, you might as well.
You're 2 games in. I don't know that they have to tank. I think they just suck.
Well, okay.
I mean, the fact that they got rid of Saquon, I know they've got some players over there. They don't have a kicker. Now, somebody is probably going to lose a job over that. Is it the trainer? Is it the special teams coach? Somebody told Dable, yeah, he's good. I mean, I get a feeling that head coaches probably don't spend a lot of time checking on the health of their kickers. They get a report. Then I can only imagine staff meeting. Kicker good? Yep, good. All right, cool.
I don't even know if you say that. Do you ever worry about that?
Well, I mean, you go through the injury report. You know, to me, that's on the general manager. The general manager, you know, do you not have a laundry list of kickers ready to go?
Well, it was too late. You can't get a guy on Sunday morning.
I think you can. I think you can.
I don't know.
I mean, worst comes to worst, send a private jet, pick up your kicker for the day. I don't know. What time do you have to be on the active roster?
Well, at this point in time, I don't think you can drag somebody in on a Sunday morning.
I think until you set your final roster, you probably can. I mean, he might not get there till the second quarter, but it's not like the Giants score a lot of points, so he's still going to be able to help you. You know, get him a helmet and send him out there. I mean, do so. I know Daboll's taking all the heat for this. To me, it's on the trainer, the special teams coach, the kicking coach, and more importantly, the general manager, not having a kicker available.
Well, if Daboll doesn't even know his kicker is hurt, how the hell's the general manager going to know that?
Well, somebody's got to check on that guy.
I
mean, do the trainers like, hey, man, sorry, we didn't get to the kicker because we had this guy, and I can only wrap so many ankles at a time. Oh, you can't play? Maybe the kicker should have said something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but, yes, ultimately it does fall on the head coach. But he does have a general manager who makes personnel decisions. I think he was just falling on the grenade for his soon-to-be former boss, the GM. Although maybe they'll both be out of work before long.
I would not be surprised.
That Mara guy cannot be happy. That was one of the dumber things that you could see. You talk about well-run organizations. The New York Giants, after being on Hard Knocks, what you thought of them before, it's worse than it really is. Because that's what they let us see.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what they told HBO? I don't think we look good there, so let's not show that. If what we saw was approved, can you imagine what they didn't let us see?
Wow. Hey, they're the Giants for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not good, but you know, even though Danny Nichols, he looked a little bit better yesterday.
He's pennies. Nichols is too nice.
So he looked better yesterday. But it's Washington.
Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't get to see much of that at all.
Well, I didn't see much of that game either. But
and Red Zone didn't show much of it because they weren't there enough.
I was watching. A disaster in Dallas.
Yeah, I was at that disaster in Dallas. But then I flew home and was in my recliner, eating some burnt ends, watching the Texans beat the Bears.
How about those Texans, huh?
You know, that was a nice win, but I expected more. I thought the Houston Texans would be able to go in there and dominate. And Mixon didn't run the ball well. I don't think CJ threw the ball well. Did Diggs play last night? I know. I mean, I say that jokingly, Pledge. I know he had that one catch that was like, all right, get him. There was some weird stuff there. Defensively, they did well. Caleb is not. I don't want to say he made some plays last night, but he made some really dumb but rookie plays. Hunter with a couple of big sacks. I mean, I can only imagine Caleb spending a lot of time in the ice bath today because that dude took a lot of hits last night. And the scary part was because they were wearing those ugly-ass orange uniforms with the orange helmet. The old gif in the same uniform of Justin Fields on the bench with the look on his face like, I can't believe I get paid for this. Caleb had the exact same look.
Uh-huh. Well, he's a rookie. Yeah. And he paints his nails. So maybe that gets in the way. I don't know.
Terry Bradshaw.
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
You think the painted nails are there, huh?
I don't think so, and I don't give a damn what he does with his nails.
I
could care less.
Yeah, I can
but
tell.
He needs some time. Any of these rookies need some time. I mean, none of them are playing well, and that's just the way that it is. C.J. Stroud is an outlier. The fact that he came in and is playing as well as he is, it doesn't happen anymore. And even Caleb Williams, with all the hype and everything else that coming out, he doesn't look good yet. But it's only 2 games. Anthony Richardson was the guy yesterday that just was awful. He was terrible. And I don't understand that. I mean, the guy hasn't played. I mean, he just has nothing there. And so he was not good yesterday.
No, and again, young quarterbacks are going to have that. CJ, 23 of 36, 260 yards, a touchdown. Nico Collins had a hell of a game. But that run game I thought would be able to do a lot of things last night, and it didn't. I thought the overall stadium, the environment, everything looked good on national TV because, Houston doesn't get that a lot.
No.
But they also look like a team that was a little tight knowing that the spotlight was on, especially early in that game. I thought they would come out and be a lot more fluid and explosive. And I'll give the Bears credit for probably having something to do with that, but it just felt like it was tight. And then stupid stuff that didn't get called, taking shots on the sideline, punching a dude in the face. Fines are coming your way, man. But it did feel like Houston, they get the win, but they seem tight on that national stage.
Well, and Joe Mixon gets hurt. That's not good. And that was from a hip drop tackle.
Yeah.
And of course, Houston's really upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it had all the points, as Mike Tirico pointed out. I don't know why they can't do that, but when that injury happened, he wasn't running the ball well anyway. Certainly not like
he's probably
did the
still
week
tired
before.
from running for 1,000 yards in game 1.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's a pro athlete. I love how you'll make excuses for other guys.
No, Joe Mixon, he's on my fantasy team, and so, yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't help me much.
Yeah, all right. So the saltiness had to be there somewhere.
It's got to be, yes. Yep. It's all about me, my friend.
Yep.
Which is the way it should be.
Well, it's always all about you, is it not?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be.
And when you don't do well with your picks, you're salty, and it's somebody else's fault.
Yes, it is. I won't run from it.
No.
Not
a lot of people had good days yesterday picking NFL games. I can tell you that.
Well, so who are you going to pick tonight? Because the Eagles are a 5.5-point favorite over the Falcons in our Monday night game. That's according to BetUS.com. I don't know yet. A.J. Brown's not going to play. He's been ruled out for tonight's game. Atlanta didn't look good last week, so we'll see. And I know, as a Cowboy fan, Jason Minix, you're going to hope that Atlanta will get it done since the Cowboys got rolled yesterday. You really don't want to see the Eagles get out to a 2-0 start.
It has nothing to do with the Cowboys getting rolled yesterday. It's having everything to do with always wanting to see Philadelphia lose.
Well, 5.5 points. You can go to BetUS.com and sign up there and make a bet on the game. Whether you like the Eagles or the Falcons doesn't make any difference. Football is back. You need to get in on the action. And, boy, I tell you what, BetUS, they're doing you right now. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. You heard that right. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That is unheard of. I've never heard of anything like that. So take advantage of it. It doesn't take long to sign up. You go to the BetUS.com or you can call them at 1-800-MY-BETUS, and they'll sign you up that way. It's easy to make a deposit, easy to make your bet, and it's easy to collect when you win. I perfectly intend on winning tonight. Don't know what side I'm going, but I intend on winning tonight. I will have some action on it. You can bet on that. BetUS, they are the best. It's the only sports book that I use. I've been using them now for about 3 years, and I love them. So go to BetUS.com, sign up, get your bonus, and start playing with BetUS.com. Again, you can call them at 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS is where the game begins.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at SASportsStar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
You've heard me talk about GiveMeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customers said about GiveMeTheVin.com buyer Doug.
I had to sell my prized 2020 Challenger Scat Pack and needed the money for bills right away. I'd like to say this place is truly legit. Doug with Gimme the Vin called me and beat the other offers from CarMax and the local Dodge dealer. Excellent way to sell your car with no hassle and quick payment. Truly legit and honest company.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks. The unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch captivating dramas and gripping mysteries, whether it's entire series of massive hits like Sherlock and Vera, new seasons of originals like The Responder, starring international Emmy winner Martin Freeman, or an extraordinary selection of beloved treasures featuring Idris Elba, Jodie Comer, Matthew McFadden, Benedict Cumberbatch, and more. Only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Texas Longhorns moved up to number 1 in the AP poll. They jump over Georgia after beating UTSA 56-7. Quinn Ewers, though, suffered an abdominal strain in the second quarter. According to reports, he most likely is going to miss this game against Louisiana Monroe. Stephen Jones said today that tight end Jake Ferguson, he expects him to be back this week after he missed yesterday's game, a blowout loss to New Orleans. Cowboys host Baltimore.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a non-victory Monday.
Non-victory?
Well, the Cowboys got their ass kicked.
Yeah,
yesterday.
can we say an ass-whooping Monday?
It's a recovery day.
Recovery?
Recovery day.
All right.
Yeah, lick your wound day, get it off your chest day. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. And it's days like today that maybe I'm a little envious of my good friend Joe Reinagel.
Well, why is that?
Well, because I'm a passionate Cowboy fan.
Okay.
I hate to lose.
Right.
You don't have that same passion for any team that plays football, for that matter. So you get to go, I don't know, make a video that's up on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram at SA Sports Star, laughing, Stephen A. Deja vu. Let's go, Cowboys.
Did Stephen A. say deja vu?
I don't know. I turned it off when I saw Stephen A.'s video coming up, and it's front and center. And, you know, Ryan just said, hey, Joe, your video's up, and I don't even have to go watch it. I know what's going to be there.
Well, it was. I felt like, man, are we back in the playoffs? This isn't even the playoffs, and the Cowboys are getting rolled. Yeah. And they're getting rolled. I mean, I'm not used to them getting rolled like that in the second week of the season.
No,
that's
not a regular season performance. That was playoff performance yesterday.
Performance.
But what you couldn't do is blame Dak Prescott for yesterday's ass kicking. You'll find a way, but you sound football dumb if you do. Well, I'm just trying to save you, my friend.
Well, maybe you want to score some touchdowns, Mr. Prescott, $60 million a year.
Yeah.
How about that? Or why don't you give part of that money to Brandon Aubrey?
Well, Brandon will get his own next year. Although it's interesting because the Cowboys' offense, they moved the ball. They didn't score touchdowns, and New Orleans was. And Rob Thompson and I, we were at the game yesterday sitting together, and
how sweet.
It was lovely.
That was nice.
It was lovely.
Yes.
But we had a theory, and it was really more Rob, although we were talking about it. What happens to the play calling when the Dallas Cowboys get near midfield, which is field goal range for Brandon Aubrey? And it feels like that as soon as they are in Aubrey's field goal range, Mike McCarthy's play calling changes a little bit. Go back and watch. Tell me if Rob and I are wrong on this. I mean, Rob was like, why does he get conservative? You got 3 in the bag, so don't screw it up. Don't take a bad sack. Don't have a turnover. But it feels like they get less aggressive once they are in Aubrey's range. And it certainly felt that way yesterday.
Well, I tell you what, if that's the case and it becomes a trend, then McCarthy needs to be fired.
Yes.
You cannot, I don't care how good your field goal kicker is. You cannot do that. You got to score touchdowns, especially when you're playing a team that certainly in week 1 was as hot as anybody, and they come in week 2 and that hotness continued. You got to score touchdowns. You just have to. But that's been the Cowboys' MO, maybe since McCarthy got there. Maybe there is something to that. They move the ball up and down the field. You get into the red zone, and they forget how to play football.
And they weren't good in the red zone yesterday. And again, trading field goals and touchdowns. Although the reality, I mean, you can blame Dak if you want, but you sound like an idiot if you do. You do. Yeah, Dak played well
Scored
yesterday.
touchdowns.
Well, again,
he didn't play that well yesterday.
He didn't play poorly.
Well, he didn't play well.
I mean, you're right. They did not score touchdowns. That defense was awful.
It was terrible.
If you're looking to blame anybody for that loss yesterday, it is all on the defense. Now, I will say, you want to blame Dak Prescott? Hey, dude, your defense sucks today. Can you pick it up with the offense? And he didn't do that, which is typical of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's not that guy. He does a lot of great things, but saying, all right, man, defense, I'll carry you today, that's not what Dak does.
Look, I'm not blaming Dak for the loss. All I'm saying is, first two games, Dak has not looked all that great. And if you say anything else, you're just showing your dumbness. The guy hasn't played well in the first two games. He hasn't. And I bet if you had him right here looking you in the eye, he would tell you the same thing.
Sure, he's always going to say his expectations are higher than everybody else's. He hasn't played bad. Has he been world beater? No, but I mean,
he hadn't been $60 million a year worth.
Well, what is $60 million a year worth?
I want to exactly what you said.
You get hung up on a damn number. That's the market. I mean,
he should put that team on his back. And lead them to touchdowns, for goodness sake, and not field goals. That's what I expect out of Dak Prescott.
I expect CeeDee Lamb to get more targets than he did yesterday, and I think the lack of a run game was on full display yesterday.
Absolutely.
New Orleans said, yeah, okay. Did you see that play where Deuce Vaughn literally just got pushed down? Like,
yes.
You know, he was a sixth grader running around with a bunch of seniors.
That's what he is.
Well, I mean, and that's how it looked. That was embarrassing. I felt bad for the kid at that point. They can't run the ball. There's no threat. CeeDee gets all the defensive attention, and nobody's afraid of the Jalen's. You know, Brandon Cooks,
he got knocked on his butt when they're trying that little sweep.
2 targets.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, 2 targets. I don't understand what they were doing offensively. I realize it got out of hand and they got out of their game plan, but when it was still a game, when it was 21-13, it's still a game. Jalen Brooks falls down, pass is intercepted, and game over. But you can't blame that interception on Dak. His receiver fell down. I mean, it wasn't tripped. He slipped. That pass would have hit him right in the face.
I get that, and I won't blame Dak for that. Look, what I'm going to blame him for is and you can blame it on McCarthy all you want if that's the conspiracy theory, but Dak's got to score touchdowns. He's got to score touchdowns. You can't settle for field goals. I don't care who you're playing, unless you're the Washington Commanders and you're playing the Giants. Then you can kick 7 field goals and win. But most times you're not going to do that. He's got to score touchdowns.
He does.
And so blame? No, I'm not going to blame for the defense was terrible. It was just flat out awful. So I'm not blaming Dak for the loss, but I'm just saying he needs to play better. I mean, he's the highest paid guy in the NFL, and I don't care what that is, but he needs to show it. He needs to come out and play. And it's not just Dak. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. He gets a big contract. Terrible. I mean,
Tua's already knocked out.
Tua's out. I mean,
Jared Goff.
If you're going to get paid that kind of money,
Stafford lost.
Then you need to
Lamar lost.
You need to do better.
210-656-ESPN 656-37. Gonna be there. This is a good call, Gary.
Yeah, that was awesome. Maybe his best.
It's like the Cowboys, man. You just kicked it. They were scoring touchdowns.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to react, you need to get it off your chest.
Yes.
A blowout loss this early in the season, and the scary part, it looked too much like the Green Bay loss. The Cowboys so good at home, 16-game home win streak, and their last 2 home performances have been ugly blowout losses.
Nasty.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We do have a game tonight. Philadelphia and Atlanta to wrap up week 2 of the NFL season. Make sure you're playing at Underdog at Fantasy. Go download the app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com and get signed up. It's a lot of fun to play, and you can win a lot of money, although I didn't yesterday. Diggs didn't do enough for me in the late game last night. Obviously, I had Brandon Aubrey at higher than 2.5 extra points. I should have taken field goals, but I went with extra points there. Not a good day for me yesterday on Underdog. Hopefully that changes tonight for me, but you want in on the action, in on the fun, go get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use my promo code STAR and Underdog. We'll give you a free pick to use on your first pick-em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer when you get signed up. Do it now. Promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinigle. I'm Jason Minix. A lot of people want to talk Cowboys. Yet a whole bunch of people will still get registered at sasportstar.com for tickets for the Cowboys-Ravens game this week. And we're giving away two pair of tickets, or two tickets, pair of tickets, and a parking pass.
Which is as valuable as the tickets.
Yes. Yes, it is. Just as valuable, if not more so, because that parking pass is incredible. So what went wrong for the Cowboys yesterday? Where
much
do
time
you
you got?
guys? Hour and 40 more minutes
All right.
today.
Yeah.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Roll, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? I can't stand by and let this Dak slander continue anymore.
Dak slander, you must be talking to Ryan Eagle, huh?
Well, Ryan Eagle, let me tell you right now, I was never the biggest Dak fan. Never the biggest Dak fan.
All right.
2 years ago, it kind of changed my mind. I feel like it could be worse. If it wasn't for Tony Romo and Dak, we would be very bad these past 10, 15 years.
Wow.
So, and on top of that, think about this. New Orleans moved the ball up and down. They scored touchdowns 5 straight times. That's a lot for any quarterback to answer. That is a lot. That is a lot to ask an offense to respond to. 5 straight drives with a touchdown.
Well, I mean, how about I don't know. How about scoring 1? I guess they did get 1.
Yeah, they got one.
They got
there,
one,
dumbass.
huh?
I mean,
got
they
one.
can go
Yeah, they
2.
did, yeah.
I mean, if they're scoring touchdowns, why can't we? Come on, Roll.
And you know what? That is on Mike McCarthy. That is a red zone offense problem that we've had for 2 to 3 years already. That's on Mike McCarthy. That we've struggled for years within the red zone.
What number was McCarthy wearing yesterday, Roll? I'm just curious. I didn't see him on the field.
And that's the personnel part. Roll, I'll argue with you. We struggled in the red zone last year. We brought Zeke back to fix that, did we not?
Yes.
Isn't that what they told us?
Yeah.
No, they didn't fix the running back room. There are problems at running back, and it was on full display. But this week, we'll probably start hearing about Dalvin Cook is about ready. And maybe he'll be the answer until we all know that he's not. And go from there.
What do you mean he's not?
He's not the answer.
Why? I mean, he can't be any worse.
Then what?
Than Deuce Vaughn,
You
Zeke
just
Elliott,
don't like Deuce.
Rico Dowdle, all of them.
They're all the same.
Exactly.
I mean, Dalvin Cook's just the same guy, different jersey number.
Look, he's worth a try. You brought him in. You might as well play the guy.
Well, that's it. Well, I mean, but he's been on the couch. I mean, he's got to get into shape. We'll go from there. The only thing that, and I find this interesting. Last year, the offense was off to a slow start, but it was a new system. This year, what's the excuse?
There's not one.
Every pass was underneath. Why? Is it because the high safeties and New Orleans scheme said we're not going to let you get anything deep, and the Cowboys' offensive line isn't good enough to give Dak time to let long developing plays happen? I mean, there are some reasons that Mike McCarthy called the plays that he did. He is smart. He is a good play caller. But everything felt underneath. And New Orleans, there was no press coverage. They kept everything in front of them, and they were able to get after Dak because the offensive line struggled some. So and we know what they did offensively. Looked like New Orleans just got a complete game plan copy of the Green Bay game plan. They did that, and they also showed Jerry and Steven, hey, when you have a real running back, this is what an offense can look like.
Well, you have to. And again, we can go back and rehash. I can't believe they didn't draft the guy. Seriously, they should have. There were some running backs available and have been much better off than what they've got here. But as of now, at least, you've got to deal with what you've got. And I think Dalvin Cook, I mean, you got to give the guy you got to give him an opportunity.
Well, at this point, I'm with you. But I'm sure that's going to be the storyline this week. Wow, we've got Dalvin Cook. He's ready to go. That will help the run game. Hey, John, you are on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Well, we're
good, John. How are you? Sports Talk
Hey,
Radio. What's on your mind, man?
I love this show. You guys not agreeing all the time is extremely healthy. So I think that is wonderful. Look, about the game yesterday, number one, we were out-coached. That's going to happen a lot because just my feelings about the coaching staff. Number two, they had a better quarterback than we did, and they they will. As long as Derek Carr's there, they're going to have a better quarterback than we do.
I mean, so you're talking about 5 more years. And look.
Be careful, John. It hurt Minix's feelings over here.
I don't give a damn. And it was Derek Carr, not one if Dak walked that I'd want to go after. But Derek Carr is Derek Carr. Now, maybe New Orleans is a better overall team than we thought, but in reality, he played better and he made some throws yesterday. He beat when he was with the Raiders. He beat the Cowboys on what was that, a Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. To say that he's always going to be better than Dak, well, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, you cannot like Dak, but still be honest, man. Dak did not have a great game yesterday.
I don't have a personal problem with Dak at all. I think he's a great guy.
He is.
I just don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
Amen, brother.
I mean, you guys can all say that. I mean, it just sounds ridiculous when you look at a guy that statistically last year was one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, finished second in the MVP voting. He doesn't get it done in the playoffs, and there's no way to defend that. But for you, Joe Reinagel, for you, John, on line 3, to say he's not a good quarterback is just ridiculous because he is. He is a really great regular season quarterback that can't get it done in the postseason.
Well, I think that's what Raul was talking about. I mean, apparently it's okay now just to be good in the regular season.
Nobody said that.
Well, I think that's what we're implying.
Well, who the hell is Raul? I mean, it was John on line 3.
Well, not John, the first guy we had.
all right.
Was the Dak slander guy?
Okay, that guy.
That guy.
I'm with you there. Well, but again, though, I mean, say what you want about Dak Prescott and his leadership abilities. Can he help lift a team? Yesterday's a perfect example. I wanted more out of Dak Prescott because the defense wasn't holding up their end. That meant I need more lifting from Dak Prescott, and we did not get it. You did not get that yesterday. But to say that Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback is foolish.
He's a good regular season quarterback. He's great. He may be the best regular season quarterback in the NFL.
All right, but that's not what John just said, and you agreed with John. You're saying, yeah, he's not a good quarterback. That is irresponsible and just flat out wrong.
Well, look, if he is the highest paid guy in the NFL right now.
He is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Then is it okay for people that watch football to expect a little bit more out of the highest paid guy in the NFL?
Sure, you can expect all kinds of stuff, but I mean, I don't hear anybody saying, "Oh, that Trevor Lawrence isn't a good quarterback." Name other high-priced quarterbacks.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence has been a big fat disappointment.
Well,
he has been,
but you don't say that he's a bad quarterback. That he's not a very good quarterback.
So we're getting hung up on the bad quarterback thing.
There is a difference in saying you're a disappointment and you suck at your job. Dak Prescott does not suck at his job.
Until the bright lights come on. Then he sucks at his job.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
He doesn't win in January.
Then he sucks at his job.
We know that.
That's all. Look, I expect more out of Dak Prescott. Now, look.
I think we all do.
What I would say is the fact that the team around him is not as good as it was last year.
True. Which means I need more out of Dak, and we did not get that yesterday.
You've got to get that, not just this week, but next week. Week 1 against Cleveland, it was all the defense. Dak played solid.
It's hard to compliment that guy for you, isn't he?
He played solid. I wouldn't say it was a good game by any stretch of the imagination. He even said that. Yesterday, he was okay. It wasn't a great performance from Dak Prescott yesterday.
No.
And it showed that when the defense didn't bail him out, they get their ass kicked.
And he didn't help. I mean, that is a problem. That is a concern. And as bad as things were in that first half, as bad as that defense was, it was still a one-possession game late in the second quarter. And then the interception happened.
Yes.
And
it wasn't Dak's fault.
And you can't even blame Dak for that. Jalen Brooks fell down.
I totally agree.
I mean, and when things are going bad for Dak, man, in the Cowboys, it just all rolls downhill.
Well, they would have gotten another field goal there and made it 21-16.
It's possible. But you're still within striking distance.
Sure, until New Orleans gets the ball back and drives it right down the Cowboys' throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all of that. So they were doing it all day. There was no way the Cowboys were going to stop them. It wouldn't have mattered.
No, but at that point, that game was effectively over.
Absolutely.
That sequence, Brooks falls down, pass is intercepted, and although, man, give Dak credit for the tackle. He and Zeke combined on a good tackle.
Woo!
That was a kid. But again, and they get a touchdown. It's not like the defense even held them to a field goal.
Dude, I'm telling you.
At that point, you're looking at a one-possession game, a 14-point swing, and ball game.
Dude, it was over anyway. I mean, it was over.
You've seen crazier things happen in an NFL game.
All I saw was that there was no defense.
No defense.
At all,
and
none. And Carr was doing everything he wanted to do. He had all day to throw the football. I mean, they weren't going to stop New Orleans yesterday.
No defensive adjustment whatsoever. I mean, you look at a team and a quarterback that, look at Buffalo last week against Arizona in the opener. Down 17, and they're able to come back. Josh Allen, I'm going to lead my team to a win. So to say it's over, I mean, we've seen comebacks before, but when it was a one-possession game, I wouldn't say it was over at that point. After that interception, that 14-point swing, you knew it was over.
I was just saying, I mean, the defense was going to have to play better. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, obviously, they scored 44 points. So the defense was just terrible
35
yesterday.
In the first half.
Terrible. It was just awful.
35 points in the first half.
That's embarrassing.
On a Mike Zimmer defense.
It's embarrassing. And the Cowboys should be embarrassed. They were at home opener. They should be embarrassed, and I would expect a much better performance next week in front of the home crowd.
Can it be worse? I mean, you got a Baltimore.
Well, that's a good point.
You got a Baltimore team. You got a guy that's won MVP twice, but no playoff success.
No playoff success.
And is sitting at 0-2 with a real running back that could have a star on his helmet that they're not using in Baltimore, if you're trying to make all that make sense.
Can you imagine that Cowboy defense trying to stop Lamar Jackson from running around all over the place?
We're going to get to see it this Sunday, man.
Holy cow.
I mean, can we at least react and get this one off our chest before we start worrying about next week?
I mean,
it's Monday. We still got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to get ready for Baltimore.
I'm scared for Dallas.
You're such a...
Poor Jerry. Uh-huh. Poor Jerry.
Uh-huh.
I feel bad for you, Mr. Jones.
No, you don't. Nor should you.
No.
If you got a line, stay there. More of your calls coming up. 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Friend of mine texted me over the weekend, said, man, my AC is out. Can I drop your name when I call Quarter Moon? And I was like, of course you can. Everybody can. Because when you need them, Quarter Moon is there for you, experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they got all the equipment needed for any job. And, of course, always drop my name. No commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. Plumbing issues, problems with your AC, call Quarter Moon. It's mid-September, right? You want to make sure, I know you don't feel like your heater, you need it right now, but they got great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. Call Quarter Moon, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, more fallout from Dak's terrible performance. What did Jerry have to say?
And the Eagles and the Falcons duked it out last night. We'll recap that game as well. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at olympiahillsgolf.com. That's olympiahillsgolf.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great-tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. We are 2 weeks away from our Fall Golf Classic.
That is 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from
Wow.
today.
Get signed up. We're almost sold out. And I know we say that, but it's absolutely accurate. There are not many teams left, and you need to get signed up. Get in there. Make sure you've got a spot reserved because, look, this golf tournament, it's a blast.
It's always a lot of fun. The scenery, you won't be thirsty. I can promise you that. You won't be hungry. Brought to you by the lofts of Jesse Hernandez, Flight by Yingling, Jim Beam, a lot of our local sponsors, bars. The Rue Pub always has one of the best holes. Our friends at Slackers, Thirsty. I mean, there's some great spots out there with entertainment and activities on the golf course. Joe's White Belt will always make an appearance. It's a great time. Get signed up, sasportstar.com. It benefits San Antonio sports, and Olympia Hills is in great shape. In fact, we did our show out there on Thursday as they've done all the renovations, all 18 greens completely renovated, ready to go. We were out there, and I want to thank somebody from Universal City.
Yes.
Sent over some nice gift bags. I have no idea. Nobody signed it, but there was some nice gift bags on our desks today when we got to work.
Well, you know that I met the mayor's wife.
You met the mayor's wife.
And the mayor, by the way.
And the mayor.
Yeah, and so I think we're all good friends now.
So you think they sent the gift bags?
If I have any problems in Universal City, I know who to call.
What's her name?
The mayor's wife.
Man, if it's a lady at a certain age group, Joe's got them.
Well, no. She, there were a lot of nice people out there. There were a lot of nice people out there, yes.
Yeah.
So they were all very kind.
Whoever sent over the gifts, thank you.
Yes.
We were trying to figure out what some of the things were in that gift bag because I'm still not sure. We think one thing might be like a business card holder, but
I think it is.
I'm not really sure.
I don't know what it is, but that's what I'll probably use it for.
Yes.
Because it works, and you're a little bitter because I got a jar full of M&Ms that you didn't get.
Somehow I think somebody took the M&Ms out of the bag.
You think so?
They didn't leave. They didn't say, well, we'll make sure Joe gets some candy. Although maybe.
I think they might have.
Maybe Mrs. Mayor was like, well, Joe likes his M&Ms.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't think.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
I don't think we discussed that, but, I mean, maybe it was implied.
Maybe.
I don't know.
At any rate, thank you for whoever sent the gift bags
that was
with
fantastic.
no card or note.
Very nice folks out there.
Get signed up for the golf tournament at sasportstar.com. And while you're there, UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor is going to join us at 5:15 as he does every Monday, win or lose. But over the weekend, I guess what was it, Friday, we were sent a link. There is a documentary called The Avery, The Spirit of the Dome. And it's a documentary looking back at kind of the history of the Dome and UTSA football. And Joe Reinagel and myself are featured a lot in this documentary. Very well done. If you want to go watch it, it's there's a link at sasportstar.com, kind of the right-hand corner where it says win a pair of tickets to the game. Then it says The Avery, The Spirit of the Dome. Click on that link. 30-minute documentary. Good watch. Good, easy watch.
It is, and I think it just that we were involved means we're old, and we've seen a lot happen.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means.
No, it was a lot of fun to do, and I think it turned out great. So go check it out, watch that, and let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think about the Cowboys yesterday. Actually, we know what you think about the Cowboys yesterday, and if you need to get it off your chest, because that was frustrating, that was embarrassing, that was a lot of words that would get me fired if I said them right now.
Yes.
So we'll let you, and make sure Pledge is hovering over what we call the dump button. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Rob, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hi. I wanted to weigh in on the Dak conversation. I want to say, first of all, I'm a Dolphins fan. Okay. But living in San Antonio, I listen to you guys every day. So obviously I hear a lot of Cowboys talk, watch a lot of Cowboys games. And this notion that Dak is not a good quarterback, Joe always talks about Warren Moon with respect, but doesn't realize he's 3-7 in the playoffs. They're also
Don't let facts
quarterback.
get in the way of a good story is Joe's motto.
Yeah. There's Hall of Fame quarterbacks with 0 playoff wins. So, the book is not closed yet on Dak. Yes, he has not had postseason success, but you certainly want to take your chances with someone that has good regular season success as opposed to anything else.
Robert, are you Dak's agent? I'm just checking.
No, like I said, I'm a Dolphins fan.
Okay, all right.
I have a lot to mourn right now, but at the same time, I respect Dak's game, and not just the way he carries himself. I think he's a very good quarterback. Has choked in the playoffs, yes, but it's not over for him. We'll see how his career ends up.
Well, and
enough,
appreciate
Rob,
the call.
enough.
And I think Jerry kind of said that the other day. The expectation with the contract like he did is he's got to deliver a Super Bowl. He's yet to do it. Jerry uses the term, he keeps us around the rim. And you want to do that. And honestly, I know I'm kind of the Dak defender on this here radio station, although I think I'm pretty critical of him when it's time.
You have friends.
What do you mean?
Well, Rob.
I
mean, Raul was a Dak defender.
I mean, are we all disappointed? Yes. But the idea of getting rid of him and look at some of the other bad quarterback play that's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Darnold is playing winning football in Minnesota. They got rid of him and drafted Bryce Young, who got benched today for Andy Dalton.
The old redhead, Andy Dalton. Former Cowboy, by the way.
Yeah. And I would rather have Dak Prescott than Andy Dalton right now.
Or Bryce Young.
Well, yeah. I don't know Bryce Young. Tell you, man, that play that cost the Houston Texans the first pick in the draft.
I'm telling you, Davis Mills deserves a statue.
Greatest play in Houston Texans history.
It is.
Hey, John, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah, my take on the Cowboys after the Giants game, I think it can go south bad. I mean, they got the Lions, the Texans, Pittsburgh. Any team that plays that Kyle Shanahan type style football has the Cowboys number, and I don't see it. I don't see the season. I have the season going really south, and I'll just hang up and listen, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call.
And
there's a lot of truth in that.
You look at now. Granted, we talked a lot in the off season. I mean, you can go listen in the audio vault at sasportstar.com, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. I mean, what I'm about to say, we've said a lot. You look at the beginning of the season, the Cowboys could easily be a 500 team or around there going into the bye week. If they were 3-3, I don't think any of us would be surprised. I don't think many of us should be surprised that they're 1-1 after 2. Although I thought they'd lose to Cleveland and beat New Orleans. It was the other way around. You got Baltimore coming in, although none of us thought Baltimore would be 0-2 for this game. Then you get the Giants. They don't have a quarterback or a kicker. They might not have a coach on 2 weeks from now. Then you get Pittsburgh. They're figuring out ways to win without scoring.
They're playing well.
And then you get Detroit. But who had Detroit losing yesterday to Tampa Bay? Then you get the bye, and then you get San Francisco. That lost yesterday to Minnesota.
Yeah, but Christian McCaffrey will be back by then.
They hope.
He'll be back.
They hope. Is that when I think that's the week he's eligible to come back.
It might be, yeah.
He might be there the week before. Then you get Atlanta. We'll see how good Atlanta is when they play tonight. Although Atlanta's going to go one of two ways, obviously. But either Kirk Cousins figures it out and starts to play better football, or that thing is just complete going south.
Well, or Michael Penix is going to be inserted in. And if they feel like they have a chance, and I think they do offensively, they've got as many weapons as anybody. Kirk Cousins, I just don't know if he's 100% healthy yet. And in game one, he didn't look like it. Or if he was, he was shy. He didn't want to hurt himself. So he's going to have to get over that and get over it quick.
He didn't look like he trusted it last week.
No.
And you look at Aaron Rodgers, similar injury, although Aaron Rodgers' recovery time is a lot different. And, of course, he does all kinds of stuff that maybe gets him a little bit ahead. But Rodgers looked better yesterday than he did a week before. if Kirk Cousins can make that kind of improvement from week 1 to week 2, playing the Eagles, who didn't look great in Brazil, but
that was just a hell of a game.
That was just a hell of a game.
It was a hell of a game.
So we'll see. Ultimately, it feels like it's been forever since the Eagles have played a game. Because
it is. No kidding, right?
A Friday over in Brazil, and
then a Monday night game.
And then you're coming back for a Monday night game. So, I mean, and you just look around. You look around the league and really the standings, and I know it's early. I don't think many of us thought New England would be 1-1. Buffalo is undefeated. Pittsburgh, who would have thought they would be the only undefeated in the AFC North after 2 weeks?
That's crazy.
Who would have thought Cincinnati and Baltimore would be 0-2 in the AFC North?
Crazy.
The only team that has won a game in the AFC South is the Houston Texans. They're 2-0. Everybody else in that division is 0-2.
Nuts.
You look at the Chargers and the Chiefs, 2-0 in the AFC West.
How about the Chargers? Now, they haven't exactly had juggernauts to play against, but winning both, and they've turned primarily to the run game.
Yeah.
They're doing that very well. Here's a former Baltimore Raven who's getting it done for them.
And that guy, I saw it on Twitter. It was a great tweet. I don't know who tweeted it. Oh, J.K. Dobbins couldn't walk up the stairs in Baltimore. Now he's doing flips into the end zone as a Charger. Yeah, it's true. He couldn't stay healthy there.
That's true.
You look at the NFC East, about what we all thought it would be. The NFC North with Minnesota at 2-0 and everybody else there 1-1. I think that's a bit of a surprise. And quite frankly, the NFC South, with Tampa and New Orleans both 2-0, I don't think many saw that coming in.
Well, certainly not New Orleans. I don't think anybody's, Tampa Bay, okay, but New Orleans? I mean, you talk about a team that was under the radar the entire offseason during training camp, just nothing. And all of a sudden they come out like a house of fire, man.
I thought New Orleans would be good, but not this good. Not score on every drive Derrick Carr is in the game good.
Their offense is smoking right now.
Tampa Bay I thought would be good. Atlanta I thought would win that division because they promised us they were going to use Robinson, and remember who Pitts was, and I just expected more out of Kirk Cousins. They're staring at 0-2. In the NFC West, Seattle at 2-0, Arizona, San Francisco at 1-1, and the Rams at 0-2. And with all their injuries, the Rams are in big trouble.
Yeah, they're in big trouble. Both of their wide receivers are down. I'm not sure for how long, but they're down, and they're in. It's funny. Ed Warder just reposted a tweet. All of the starters that are down: Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Darius Williams, Jonah Jackson, Steve Avila. All of these guys, so on their line and wide receivers, they're in big trouble. They're a banged up football team.
And the Cowboys, I don't know if they're in trouble or not. I don't like what I'm hearing from the locker room, especially from Micah Parsons, because I was already to be very mad at Mike Zimmer, and because that defensive plan yesterday was awful and they never adjusted. And I've just got questions like, why did Overshown not get more snaps? If he had some sort of got dinged up and we don't know about it yet, if there's a reason why he didn't see the playing field after leading the team in tackles a week ago and Micah Parsons giving him all that kind of love, where was he yesterday? But Micah Parsons consistently after the game yesterday on his podcast today, talking about the effort was not there by all 11 on the defensive side. That, to me, is a bigger indictment that the Cowboys have to figure out.
My biggest takeaways from that game, one, the effort was not there by all 11. It doesn't matter who plays well, who didn't play well. The effort by all 11 wasn't there. The basic fundamentals of the game of football was not there. And at the end of the day, you have a standard of who you are during training camp and throughout this process to get you ready for the season. We didn't uphold that standard. That wasn't the Dallas Cowboys that I saw or I knew that showed up last week. It was not the same team this week. Was it the preparation? What was it? I don't know, but I'm determined to get this thing right. As you said, I'm trying to step up this year. I'm trying to be that guy for our team, and we have to be a whole lot better. And it's going to start. It started today. I feel like we made a big jump. Obviously, breaking down the film is hard to watch. At the end of the day, coming on to the show, coming out live, it's hard to talk about the losses. It's hard to take it. But anyway, we got to take this loss and learn from it, right? It's early in the season. It's kind of reminders to the Broncos a couple years ago, Arizona last year. But the championship's not won right now. We got a whole lot of time to get this together. We got a whole lot of time to keep getting better. And this is going to be a big week to kind of get better. We're going to get more into Baltimore.
All right,
but
dude.
for
All
right
right.
now,
All right.
But to kind of get better?
Yeah. Well, look, here's the thing. You get every coach at every level, high school, college, NFL. Your biggest improvement is always week 1 to week 2. And the Cowboys took 3 steps back with their performance yesterday. And when you get a star player saying it was because of a lack of effort,
that's troubling.
That is a major indictment on the culture that Mike McCarthy has in Dallas.
Well, I tell you what, that's troubling when he says that. Now, what I do like about what he said, he used the term "we."
Yes.
Right? He did say "we."
He's
so
trying to be a leader.
He wasn't calling out anybody else. But, I mean, look, and I know he gets a lot of attention. I get that. But if you're going to be the defensive player of the year, which everybody predicted this year, you got to overcome that. Other guys get double-teamed all the time and still get to the quarterback. Micah was a no-show yesterday.
They all were. And if it's because of a lack of effort, that's a bigger problem for Mike McCarthy than Zim's defensive scheme. Now, I appreciate Micah Parsons trying to be a leader and not trying to blame. Last night after the game, he said it wasn't the scheme. He said it wasn't this. He said it wasn't that. But if you're going to tell me a lack of effort, again, if one guy is dealing with a lack of effort, that's one thing. But the way that entire defense played, they weren't ready to play. They didn't show up. That is on Mike McCarthy. That is your team ready to go? Zim and his defensive group, the kind of guys they have in that locker room thinking they could just show up. They got punched in the mouth and kind of stopped playing because that's how it felt, and that's what I feel hearing that from Micah. Well, we lost this game. Who gives a damn?
That's basically what he said.
Yeah, it's how I took it.
And I know we disagree on this, and if it's a culture issue, okay, part of it. But look, these guys are grown men.
Yeah.
They get paid a good deal of money, most of them, well, all of them for that matter. If they're not ready to play and they don't bring the effort on a Sunday afternoon, I cannot blame Mike McCarthy for that.
Again, it's culture. Jeff Traylor is going to be on with us in 20 minutes. And you know what Jeff Traylor is going to say? We've got blown out the last 2 weeks, but I'm not worried about our guys because of our culture. And that culture is set by the head coach.
You expect effort, though.
But it's the accountability. It's the accountability in the room when they're going through the film session and you got a guy that's out of position. If he's not getting in trouble for that or, he's not giving max effort to get from A to B to try to get somebody, that's effort in football. Ready to play in the right position, reading the signals, all of that. But the culture is set, the accountability from the coaching staff.
Now, I don't know what their accountability is, and if there is no accountability for what happened yesterday, then there certainly should be. But I just think these guys have got to go out and play, and it's up to them. I mean, you don't need a rah-rah speech in the locker room. You shouldn't need that. You got to go out. You're in front of your home folks.
You're right.
And play football, and they did not play football yesterday.
You should not need that if you've got the right guys in the locker room.
Well, then there's another problem.
And if you don't have the right guys in the locker room, then the coach has to try to make you that right guy and get that out of you, and that's knowing your system. I like where Micah's going with that, but I certainly don't like the way that comes across, at least to me. We'll talk more about it. Plus, as mentioned, Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:15 here on The Blitz. When you need an electrician, my friends over at Hill Electric are available to you 24/7 for both residential and commercial needs. They've done work at my house through the years, added extra outlets in the garage, big spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. There is never a service charge and always free estimates, so it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Whether you're talking about a project at the house, something at the office, call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or go online, hill-electric.com.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
The Gomez Law Firm has been helping injured victims in car and trucking accidents for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. Jose, if someone finds themselves faced with the stress of an accident, what next?
Well, the first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
The Gomez Law Firm is the leader in personal injury law. If you have been in an accident, you need a firm that will fight for you and your family's rights.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years.
The Gomez Law Firm fights for you against the big insurance companies and wins. Tell us about some other cases you represent.
Really, anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have found yourself faced with a personal injury matter, if you've been in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then it's important to call the Gomez Law Firm today. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
Make the Break Room on Pat Booker Road in Live Oak your football watching headquarters. The brand new Break Room has 17 TVs, brand new pool tables, dartboards, and even a putting green outside to enjoy while watching the games and hanging with friends. And the kitchen is always open during games. More than your average neighborhood bar, check out the Break Room at 8084 Pat Booker Road in Live Oak. Follow the Break Room Live Oak on social media for the latest specials and events. The Break Room, 8084 Pat Booker Road in Live Oak.
Kinetico quality water softeners, they are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Kinetico is absolutely the best. Look, Kinetico's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage, and why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Kinetico quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Kinetico. You won't regret it. 656-PURE,
656-7873 or ConnecticutSA.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got a new number one team in college football. It is the Texas Longhorns. They moved up after beating UTSA 56-7. But some bad news. Quinn Ewers suffered an abdominal strain in the second quarter of that UTSA game. According to reports, he will most likely miss this week against Louisiana Monroe. And Stephen Jones said today he expects tight end Jake Ferguson to be back this week after missing yesterday's game against the Saints.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always comment there. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. 210-656-ESPN. It's a get it off your chest Monday after an embarrassing blowout loss by the Dallas Cowboys. Buddy of mine, Brian Carson, just sent me a text. And this is true, which is why I'll read it. Cowboys will beat a team you think they won't, and then get killed by a team that they shouldn't. And man, how often have we said that? Although generally not this early in the season. They'll get a win we don't expect, and then they'll lose to somebody that they have no business losing. Last year it was the Arizona game.
Yep.
Right? They went out there, and granted, they had 3 starting offensive linemen not playing in that game, but they still had no business letting Josh Dobbs do what he did last year in Arizona. Although this New Orleans team might prove to be pretty damn good. Alvin Kamara looks like the Alvin Kamara we remember. Carr is playing good. That offense was fantastic, and they've got weapons, and they're getting it done defensively.
That offensive line was fantastic yesterday, and nobody even got close to Derrick Carr. He had all day to do whatever he wanted to do, and so that's troubling, especially when you're talking about a DeMarcus Lawrence and a Micah Parsons and these guys that are supposed to get to the quarterback. They didn't even get close. So you may be right. I mean, and time will tell if New Orleans is for real or not, but they certainly look good, especially offensively.
When you think about the Cowboys and getting blown out, the fact that they never got a stop, and or at least when it was still a game, in a weird game in which, unless you're just that dude, you can't really blame Dak Prescott. The defense never got stops. Now, the offense, they got field goals instead of touchdowns, but what was going on with the offense? I mean, you got to start looking deeper into the issues. Like, the lack of run game is a problem for the Dallas Cowboys. The fact that with no Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb is their only offensive weapon. Brandon Cooks was MIA. The Jalen's didn't really do much. Jalen Brooks fell down. That led to an interception. Tolbert actually technically had a nice game, but that's a guy that should not get more targets than CeeDee Lamb.
I agree, but that's what the Cowboys are going to have to face. CeeDee Lamb's your biggest offensive weapon. Defenses are going to concentrate on him. It's going to leave guys like Tolbert and Cooks more open, and so they may get more targets moving forward.
Well, and again, you got to get Jake Ferguson back.
Yeah, you got to.
Dak Prescott talked yesterday about missing Joe Reinagel's favorite person.
Everywhere. I guess you could say those young tight ends did a good job, though. Simply, they did a good job. But as I said before, throughout the week, Jake's much more than just a tight end on Sunday. I mean, he's an aggressor. He brings a physical nature to this group. He's got a mentality that other guys feed off of that's very contagious. And but as I said, those other guys did play well. They did their job. They stepped up. They made some plays and just got away from us.
Yeah, and he's right about that. Ferguson has turned into that guy that he can rely on. There's no question. And Stephen Jones said today on 105.3 The Fan that he expects Jake Ferguson to be ready to go against Baltimore this Sunday.
If they need him.
Yeah.
And, maybe if it were a playoff game, he would have been able to play through it.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, you think about, and I was at the Green Bay game, and I was at Jerry World yesterday.
You need to stop going.
Dude, I've had a lot of people on social media tell me that. The last 2 times I was there, they've been blown out. Well, they had a 16-game home regular season win streak. I've seen a lot of wins. I'm not the problem. And as we sit right now, I won't go to the Baltimore game.
Okay. Woo!
That could change by the weekend. Just saying.
Just saying, huh?
But the fact, what did the Saints defense do that had that offense kind of confused?
Yeah, I mean, just didn't convert in the red zone, I think, is the biggest one. They didn't throw anything at us that we weren't ready for. They gave us some looks that we were prepared for, maybe not quite brought the blitz, bluffed out of a couple. We're still able to get some first downs. But then we got in the red zone. Short arm to throw to Zeke and gets free in my face. Misconnection with CD. Boom, the 4th down, probably can scramble, trying to, trust in a young tight end, wanting to use his body and put it away from him. That's somebody that I don't have a lot of reps on. I put that one on me. As I said, probably could have gotten to scramble mode, but just a few plays out there. And as I said, if we get in the end zone, I think we're talking a different game and damn sure a different feel to this game.
But, Jason, this has been just another chapter of the same book that we've been reading from the Cowboys for the last 3 years. They move the ball up and down the field between the 20s, and they get in the red zone, and they can't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Same old song and dance.
And the question is why 0 for 3 in the red zone.
Yeah.
0 for 3. And what's crazy about that 0 for 3, they never got into a goal-to-goal situation, right? So they got into the red zone. And I go back to, is it because, you got the field goal in the bag? Do you get a little conservative? I mean, I appreciate Dak saying, this one, that one. But in reality, some of the play calls didn't look like they were designed to go get a touchdown. Well, they were designed to get a couple more yards.
I can't even imagine that's Mike McCarthy's thought process. But if it is, he deserves to be fired now.
I hope Rob Thompson asks him about that theory on Friday morning when McCarthy is on with the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Let's talk about a guy that iced his own kicker on Saturday. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The Rue Pub was packed for that game, and then the fights on Saturday, the NFL on Sunday. There is no better place to go watch any big game, any big fight than the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you get into the Rue Pub, go hungry. The food, fantastic. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. They got the biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. Their appetizers are fantastic. James Pledger tells me the salads there are wonderful. He had one over the weekend. And more importantly, that kitchen is open late every night with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch any big game, any big fight. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just a simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hello. My name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
There are many feelings worse than trying to start your car in the morning and being greeted with a dead battery, or being stuck on the side of the road when you don't need to be. 1 in 4 vehicles on the road will need a battery replacement this year. Don't be a statistic. Stop battery problems before they stop you by testing your battery regularly. Test yours at home or at select Napa locations nationwide. If you need a replacement, Napa has you covered with a full range of long-lasting, high-performance batteries for nearly every make and model on the road. So don't wait. Test your battery today and let Napa help you keep moving.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Let's talk some UTSA football with head coach Jeff Traylor joining us now. Coach, a game like that, I mean, they're the number one team in the country now, and they certainly look like it. What do you tell your guys after a game? Maybe not right after, but like watching film yesterday or today.
We always start with the same thing every week. I mean, we built this thing. We're trying to win championships, and it always starts on being able to stop the run. And we did a fantastic job up front. We were way better than we were last week. Having Ken out at safety really hurt. We had some tremendous miscommunication in the back. They were, superior athletes, and they made us look stupid in the back, to be honest. Offensively, we did run the ball well, except on 3rd and 4th and short. We did have some minuses, but where we just had design runs, we had like 29 handoffs for like 150 yards. Obviously, when sacks get into play and, some bad snaps in there, it all counts, right? But that's a really good football team. You got to be able to run the football on the road to win championships. And you got to kick and cover punts and kickoffs. And we did a great job of that. We did not execute well on our kickoff team again. Some of that's operations. Quarterback play was much better. We got our running back going before he got hurt. And there's a lot of positives to take from the game. That was a really good football team. And I know the score doesn't look like it, but we played much better than we did the week before.
I was going to say, Jeff, I thought the biggest improvement from the Texas State game to this game was Owen McCown. I thought he played well. He looked like he was a lot more confident, for lack of a better word. Maybe that's not the way it was, but he just seemed more in control, I think, just me watching the game.
Couldn't agree more. You can tell it was his second road start, not his first road start. He did lead the pocket early 3 times. Other than that, he stayed in there. But the positive was when he came out of there, he made plays with his feet. I was disappointed in the sack he took in the 2-minute drill. He's better than that. He understands that. He knows that. But the kid can take a butt chewing, and you can't phase him. And I totally agree. We've got to do better getting our receivers in space. Disappointed in that. And obviously our execution on short yardage situations. I just wanted to see how much big boy ball we could play. And I know y'all are probably thinking, well, Jeff, I could have told you that wasn't going to work. Look at the size of those guys. But to go on the road, if we're going to beat East Carolina, you got to be able to run the football, and you got to stop the run, man. The crowd just gets too excited when they're running the ball down your throat, and you can't run the ball.
Coach Jeff Traylor joining us here on the Blitz. You talk about big boy football. I think especially early in that game, one of the things that impressed me was the tackling of your defense. So some good one-on-one situations. They weren't breaking a lot of tackles. I like the physical nature in which UTSA played.
So much better than last week. Martavius French had a fantastic game. Cyrus, Simon had a fantastic game. Jamal Liggett had a fantastic game. Christian Clayton stripped a fumble. Also had a knockdown pass. Brevin Randall on a recovered fumble. Danye Taylor getting back. That was huge to get him back from injury. Number 7 just brings so much juice for us. Losing Ken, number 4, our safety. We lost him in practice during the week. He's the Rashad Wisdom of our defense. We need to get him back quickly. If you'll just look, and I know I'm the head coach, this is all on me, man. But if you'll just look at it objectively, when you have a new center, a new left tackle, a new right tackle, now getting Micah Hart back was a huge game. He played really well Saturday. Your quarterback's new. Your whole secondary's new. That's a lot of new to play a veteran Texas team and a veteran Texas State team. Not asking for a soft bed. We deserve the criticism. I'm just saying I think the upside for this team is greater than what people really believe right now.
Well, Jeff, that brings up a good point. When you go and you play obviously a good Texas State team and then the number 1 team in the country in Texas, what does that do for your football team just from an education standpoint?
Well, just look what it did to us in a week. Somebody that can be objective. We had 3 penalties in that game. The game before we had 13. We look at my punt returner. Look, now my kicker, I'm shocked he didn't kick the ball better. I really am. He's a really good kicker. We'll get him going. But we were just better in so many areas of the game. And when you've got great culture and you really like each other and you like the game, just being on the road and those tough experiences, you just learn a lot about yourself. And I gave the analogy, it's a C.S. Lewis analogy. When you go downstairs in the cellar and you turn the lights on and the rats scatter, the rats are already there. They just didn't get exposed. You turn the lights on. Well, those lights are bright on the road. Texas State crowd was nuts, and Texas's crowd was nuts. You get exposed in those situations, and it makes you grow up. And our team's better because of it. I know my fan base is crushed. I know our coaching staff is crushed. My players are. We all are. But it will make us better in the long haul.
Home game Saturday against Houston Christian. Get those tickets at goutsa.com. Although you just mentioned kicker, Coach Jeff Traylor. Did you ice your kicker? What was what was going on there lining up for that long kick?
Well, we got out there with our operations, and there had been a delay of game, so it wouldn't have counted. So, I had to call the dang penalty. I had to call the timeout. I called it on 0. Then the ball was snapped. So, you would have had a 5-yard penalty. But, yeah, that's just the way it's going so far this year. He actually made that kick. And he goes back out there and misses the next one. I said, look, son, you got a practice kick. You nailed that one. The second, it's like a mulligan on the range, man. The second one will be better than the first one. My psychology of kicking has not worked real well so far.
Well, that's the way my golf game is. My twin brother is always much better than I am, Coach. That's for sure. Let me ask you a question just from a fan standpoint there in Austin. When Arch Manning came in the game, did that fire the crowd up a little more? Did that change anything that you guys were doing?
No, we didn't know he could run. We knew he could run. We didn't know he was faster than our whole defense. Elliott's a good football player. I told Elliott, I said, look, son, there's going to be a day that kid's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and your video is still going to be out there everywhere. You're going to always get to show that's – he's like, Coach, I wanted to make the tackle. I said, then that video wouldn't be shown. This way you're always going to be shown forever. So Elliott's a good football player. He missed that tackle, which he's crushed about. But what's more impressive is we couldn't run him down. The kid's really special. You got 2 first-round quarterbacks. And in the new NIL world, man, this is the way the game's going to be for a long time. And kudos to the Horns.
You mentioned that, and I'm glad that you're taking that approach with that video because it will be shown forever. It was just an incredible play. I'm guessing, just knowing you've probably watched Arch play a lot more than most of us have. But when he came onto the field and played as well as he did, up close and personal from your vantage point, was he better than you expected when he entered the game?
Well, you got to remember, Jordan, my oldest son, coaches in New Orleans with the Saints. So I've been down there, obviously for the last 6 years being around Jordan. And, he's been the talk down there forever. So anytime I'd see him in any situation, the kid was just different. He comes from a legacy family. He understands how fans are. He can handle the University of Texas and all the pressures that come with it. He's large. He's very accurate. He's a much better athlete than everybody gives him credit for. None of that surprised me. Now, him running away from my defense, I thought we'd get him down once we missed the first tackle. I didn't know he was going to lead the rest of us.
Well, speaking of the Saints,
Coach,
your son's got to be very happy today after that education they gave the Dallas Cowboys yesterday.
Well, I told him when the season started, I'm young right now on offense, brother. I need you to help the Traylor family score some points this year, and he's doing his part, and I'm not doing my part right now.
You look at the game was what it is. I want to talk to you about just coaching. Micah Parsons said after the game, it wasn't on Zim's scheme or anything like that. It was players that weren't giving enough effort. As a coach, when you hear that, what's the first thing that goes through your mind?
Well, that's the worst thing you can ever hear as a coach. There's nothing that hurts your soul more than that one, just because, everything those players do is a reflection of their football coach. And if their players are not playing as hard as you think they possibly can, then that's a reflection. You take that as a coach very deeply because you're either not schematically reaching them or you're not reaching their souls. And either one of them is a negative on the coach. And it's the problem with the new modern era of football. There's so much change going on. It's a little more difficult early in the year to really know what your team is like unless you got a bunch of veterans back. And, with our situation, we lost a lot of really good players. We got 2 players, bought from us, whatever way you want to say that. And there's just transition there. With the Cowboys, with Zimmer, to answer your specific question, I'm not really for sure about all their personnel situations. But Zimmer didn't forget how to coach defense yesterday. I would imagine there's some misevaluations or maybe some spots he's asking guys to get into that they're just not quite capable of doing that. And I'm sure Zim will figure it out and fix it. And Parsons would know more than me. I'm not on the inside. I keep up with the Saints. I barely get to do that just because I'm working so many hours up here.
Well, I think it's fascinating that he would say that, and if there's a lack of effort, they're professional football players. To me, there should never be that. I don't care what the coach says. That's just kind of how I feel
Ryan
about
Eagle
it.
doesn't think players need a rah-rah speech from a coach to get them fired up and motivated to go play.
Not in the NFL, Coach.
Well, I'll just be honest with you. I mean, you can go talk to all the coaches you want to in the world. Those speeches last about 3 or 5 plays. The only thing that matters, and Bobby Knight has said this on record a million times, and nobody's guys played harder than Bobby. AOB is the only thing that motivates men, and that's their butt on the bench. We'll say Bob, B-O-B, butt on bench. And if you don't have backups that are as good as your starters, then you really can't motivate them very well. And I'm not a big. I don't really get after my guys like that. I just very calmly, grandfather-like, put my arm around them, say, you're going to sit over here beside me for a little bit, and when you feel like playing a little harder, we're going to get you back out there. And that's when you get motivated the most. Now, to your point, Joe, you're in the National Football League, and you're paying that guy $18 million to rush the quarterback. Well, you're not going to put him on the bench because that owner's going to tell you to put his butt out there. So you better figure out some way to get him on that field and get his second that quarterback.
Yeah.
True. Yes.
Very true. UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor here on the Blitz. You've got Houston Christian coming in Saturday, 2:30 in the Alamo Dome, and I know the fans need to be there, be loud. First Responders Night, Hispanic Heritage game. Lots going on in the Alamo Dome. And I'm thinking, all right, this is the kind of game UTSA needs after the last two. And now I look up Houston Christian. Now, I don't know anything about them. In fact, I just learned today they're called the Huskies. Now, I don't know who they played this last week, Coach, but it said they scored 70 points on them. I don't care who you are and who you're playing. That's a lot. What do we need to know about this Houston Christian Husky team?
Yeah, they're coming off of 70. I think I'm right when I say this. I think Bailey Zappi played there. I think Zappi about to played there before he went to Western Kentucky.
You are correct. As you say that, I think you are correct.
Then you look at the running back Texas State has right now. He came from there. That's where GJ saw that kid, was at Houston Christian. So they've got players. They've already got 4 of them we've got marked on here right now that are really good football players. And I wish they wouldn't have scored 70 last week. That feel real good because, they're coming in with confidence. We hadn't scored 70 in all 3 games yet. They did it in 1 game.
Well, Coach, I would have to imagine that you and your players are going to be happy to get back in the friendly confines of the Alamo Dome. For that part of it, I would imagine that's a comfort.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We've only lost 3 games there in the last 5 seasons, so that's been a great comfort. But we just got so much to clean up still, man. And unfortunately, the time is clicking very fast. East Carolina is going to be an unbelievably tough road game. They average about 40,000 in that stadium of theirs. To start conference playoff there, I'd just about rather go anywhere than there. And so we've got a tough draw. Out of our first 6 games, we only got 2 at the house. So if we can just hold on, guys, hold on. Those last 6 are going to be a lot of fun. We just got to keep getting better a little bit every day. And my guys are still bought in. They're still wonderful. They're fantastic. I think we're going to get there, but we got a long ways to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah, that sounds like something I remember from a great movie in the late 80s, man. A little Smokey and the Bandit talk there, Coach. Real quick, though, you mentioned conference play in 2 weeks. Did you get out? You said your running back got banged up a little bit after that great touchdown run. Man, that was a great run. Health-wise, how are you coming out of that game against Texas?
We did okay. We thought we had broken his thumb on that run. Ended up not being, so he's good to go. We'll have, a couple of guys out this week, but we should get them back at some point during the season. But that's not terrible when you play guys that much bigger, faster, and stronger than you are.
Absolutely. Coach, Saturday is going to be fun. Houston Christian, get your tickets. Go UTSA.com. Coach, we'll see you Saturday at the Dome.
Yeah, sorry about the way we've been playing, but I promise you we're going to end up being okay. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Birds up.
God bless. Birds up. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Look, he's what a great attitude. I mean, it really is, because he knows what he's doing, and he knows what's important, and that's coming up. He's already talking East Carolina, and with that stuff falling off the wall in here.
Well, that's it. Again, though, they got $1.6 million to go get their ass kicked. Yeah, I mean, there are games like that all the time. I mean, now sometimes you might have, in Northern Illinois get a big old fat check and actually get a win at the same time.
I think Texas is much better than those Domers.
They really are. Peter Burns, somehow still with us.
Wow.
Thankfully still with us.
Yeah.
Had a great tweet after what apparently was a very scary moment, in all seriousness. Friday in Missouri, he's there covering that game, started choking in a restaurant. Couple of people try to give him the Heimlich maneuver and can't. Then one guy's just got trained on it, got it to work. So Peter is still with us, and he delivered a great tweet that said, anytime in a money game like that, when a team is upset, they should take one of those big old checks and present it at midfield just to add salt. And that is so true.
That is.
They need to do that.
That is. But, I think the Domers heard all about that because the next day, that's all that was being mentioned. So they got $1.4 million and a dub and walked out of there with a little bruise on the Domers.
Absolutely. UTSA Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Probably be a different result, although when I was looking them up and trying to learn about these Houston Christian types, they scored 70. Now, against a team that doesn't even get a logo on the websites, I don't know what they played, but still, you score 70? That's kind of that's
might have been against guys like you, me, and Pledge.
Well, no, it would have to be college students. At the very least, guys that could at least pass an entrance exam.
Well, I'm not sure any of us could do that right now.
No. Although we all have eligibility left.
Yeah, we sure do because nobody wanted us.
Nobody wanted us.
That was the problem. Hey, let me talk to you about Stevens Roofing because, I've been doing that for a long time now, and they're a family-owned company, a local company, and I tell you what, they are just the absolute best. Been in business for a long time. You don't stay in business as long as Stevens Roofing if you're not doing it right, and they are certainly doing it right. Whether it's a commercial project, they do that, or a residential project, whether you want a metal roof on your house or a traditional composition, they can do it all. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free when you call them at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me, well, you're looking to save some money. If you're looking to save some money and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. Plus, solar will often increase the value of your home. Even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. Look, Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, more fallout from Dak's terrible performance. What did Jerry have to say?
And the Eagles and the Falcons duked it out last night. We'll recap that game as well. All starts at 6 right here on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. and also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Your neighbors at El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road are ready to serve you breakfast or lunch fresh. Made to order Mexican dishes or cold drinks on tap. Order today or visit El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It's 5:39. We are, well, before the show started, like this morning, early this morning. I don't know, and early for me. It was like 10, I think we got an email.
Yes.
Somewhere there. We're down to about 8 teams to go to be sold out for our golf tournament coming up. I don't know what's happened throughout the day. So probably less than 8 now. You want to play in our golf tournament? It's always a lot of fun. Sure. Get signed up at sasportstar.com.
Look, it's a blast. It really is. You just come out and party with us. It's just a fun day. I mean, everybody's happy. There's Flight by Yingling.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Jim Beam.
Yep.
So you know you're going to be lubricated. That's not going to be an issue.
It will not be an issue at all. Presented by the lofts of Jesse Hernandez out at Olympia Hills. A week from next Monday. We're 2 Mondays away from our golf tournament. About this time, we're close to selling out. Probably by next Monday, 1 or 2 teams maybe straggling or we're sold out, but somebody didn't pay, so we'll put one back. You know how that crap goes. So you want to play. You're 2 weeks away. The weather's going to be great. Reinagel promises that.
Of course, yes.
You're going to have a great time. I can promise you that. And get signed up. Then the break room for the after party after. sasportstar.com. Go there, get signed up. And there's lots to do on our website. You can register to win Cowboys tickets. Comes with a parking pass. We've got tickets for this weekend's game against the Ravens. Now, I still think it's a little early in the week to really start focusing in on Baltimore because I'm not over yesterday. I was at the game yesterday. And
that's the problem.
Apparently it's my fault.
It is.
I'll take the blame.
That's 2 butt kickings in a row that you've been in attendance for.
Absolutely. Which is weird because I had such a good winning streak. I don't know what happened, but the last 2 have been eerily similar. Over before halftime, and the big question is why? Why defensively have the Cowboys played that way at home? My guess is it's a combination of a lot of different things. But what New Orleans did to Dallas felt like what Green Bay did to Dallas on both ends.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's the game plan. Here it is. It works. And because what do you say about Dallas? I mean, this was a loss that you can't blame on your quarterback. This was all on the Cowboys' defense. Zimmer is a new coordinator. Now, you got some of the same players, but then I've got Micah Parsons, the leader of that defense, saying it's a lack of effort. Then Jeff Traylor, the head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, saying, as a coach, that is the worst thing I can hear. How do you think Zim is going to respond? If you hear that from Jeff Traylor, how do you think Mike Zimmer is going to respond when he hears what Micah Parsons said on his podcast today? If you missed it, this was Micah Parsons on his podcast today.
My biggest takeaways from that game, one, the effort was not there by all 11. It doesn't matter who plays well, who didn't play well. The effort by all 11 wasn't there. The basic fundamentals of the game of football was not there. And at the end of the day, you have a standard of who you are during training camp and throughout this process to get you ready for the season. We didn't uphold that standard. That wasn't the Dallas Cowboys that I saw or I knew that showed up last week. It was not the same team this week. Was it the preparation? What was it? I don't know, but I'm determined to get this thing right. As you said, I'm trying to step up this year. I'm trying to be that guy for our team, and we have to be a whole lot better.
Now, he said we there, and I like that. And yesterday and all throughout this, he said it wasn't scheme. But he talked about effort, and it wasn't there collectively as a group. And to hear how Jeff Traylor responded tells me that might be even worse.
But he also and I just heard this for the first time, listening to that soundbite, talked about preparation.
Yeah.
So is that a shot at Zimmer? Not preparing them properly?
Well, again, go back to what we heard from Jeff Traylor. He said Zim didn't forget how to coach defenses overnight. But are they learning the schemes? Are they getting there? Now, your ass on the bench quote, Overshown didn't get as many snaps this week as last week. Why? Well, maybe that's why. And we don't know that until Mike Zimmer tells us when he talks.
He'll be asked about it for sure.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be asked about it. But at the same time, sit over here for a while till you're there. Effort, preparation. I mean, the all-new Micah Parsons, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, just threw everybody under the bus, but he didn't say we.
He did say we.
Because lack of effort.
But he said preparation. Maybe we weren't prepared properly. That's a shot at the coaching staff, is it not?
It is. It is.
He said maybe we weren't prepared properly.
Well, again, you go on a podcast and people want to hear your version of things. And well, you have a podcast. Different than when you're answering questions from the media. So he knows he's got to go in, he's got to talk for an hour, and he's got to give the people what they want. That's why his podcast is popular. But with him doing that, I am more concerned about this Cowboys defense now than I was sitting in that stadium yesterday watching them get shredded, where I thought it was all scheme and no adjustment, because I was all ready to blame General Manager Jerry Jones, because they don't really have a bunch of legit NFL defensive tackles. They don't have a legit run stopper because Mozzie Smith has been a bust. They don't. So I was ready to put the blame somewhere else. Now I hear Micah Parsons say, yeah, we just didn't give a damn. We didn't play hard. Our effort wasn't there.
I think, and call it culture, call it whatever you want. We saw the same thing in the Packers. I think the accolades this Cowboys team got for the performance, especially the defense. When we talked to Steven, and I know when the boys in the morning were talking to Mike McCarthy, it was all, that defense, they were fabulous. They were incredible. I fell into it. Same thing. And I just wonder if that is a culture thing, then that's a problem, and that needs to be changed. But, hey, we're the big bad Cowboys. We just kick Cleveland's behind, and here come the piddly old Saints in here. That's not going to be any problem. I mean, I don't know where else to put that. And I think it was the same thing against Green Bay. Everything fell there. They had the win streak at home. We're just going to show up, and it's not going to be a problem. So if that is a culture thing, then that's an issue, and it does have to go straight up to the top to Mike McCarthy. And so we'll see how they respond this week. It's certainly going to be a test. care what you think about Baltimore and their 0-2 start. They're a good football team, and that quarterback's a problem.
You know, I mean, Stephen Jones said today, despite what you saw yesterday, there's still a ton of confidence in Zimmer.
Yeah, I just think in general he did a lot of work, not unlike some other coaches that sit out a year, and he knows this game well. He's been a very successful coordinator, a very successful head coach, and have all the confidence in the world that he's going to put these guys in the right spot. He did a great job the first week, and we just came up against a Saints team that's hot, and they obviously had a very successful outing to start the season, and we just got to continue to our players and coaches getting on the same page in terms of what we need to do to execute the defense and get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, he's what I like about Stephen Jones. It's early in the season, so there's no panic. There's no talk there of we got to hit the panic button, and that's certainly the way to handle it. But that's an issue. When your defense plays that poorly, it's an issue, and it needs to be fixed. Can they fix it in a week? And that's going to be what we'll see next Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. But, man, that was just so bad and so surprising, unexpected that defense, after the performance they put on in Cleveland, would come out and look that bad against the Saints in week 2.
It's interesting because we don't have the audio for this yet, Pletch. All right. So apparently, this happens. Mike Zimmer's talking with the media. He says it's not an effort issue. He said, quote, "That team beat us off the snap quite a few times. We didn't get moving quick enough. I got to do a better job." So he while he didn't question the effort like Micah Parsons is, he's saying the right things. I've got to do a better job. I don't know.
Well, that's a coach going to say the right thing because he's going to protect his players. He's not going to throw his players under the bus. And so he says he's saying the right things. So I don't know. The effort, you could say a lot of things. And look, New Orleans played well, but not that well.
Well,
where if you're trying and you're out there playing hard, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen.
There's a video online, and I wish I could remember who tweeted it. You talk about effort, and Alvin Kamara takes a screen pass and goes, 8,000 yards for a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
And there is an offensive line that is running with Alvin by Cowboy defenders. Now, you're telling me some of the linebackers and secondary types aren't faster than an offensive lineman? That if those guys are really busting their ass to get a tackle from behind, the only one that was passing anybody in a Cowboy helmet was DeMarcus Lawrence. Everybody else, Kamara's going by and an offensive lineman, and they're at a parade just waving by. Oh, I don't. That's what I think when I see effort. When you say effort, that's that video I think there kind of underscores the frustration. So I appreciate Zim saying, "Nah, dude, it was effort was fine." Sure, there were a couple times it got no. They were beat. I think Micah Parsons is spot on, and that's a big concern.
That's a huge concern.
And hearing Jeff Traylor's reaction to what Micah Parsons said, questioning effort, is now a bigger concern than it was already a big concern.
Absolutely. And that had to hit right at Zimmer's heart. And McCarthy, for that matter, too. You hear that, and they hear it. They absolutely, and if they didn't hear it, somebody's telling them about it. I guarantee you. So that's got to be tough. And I wonder if Zim pulls Parsons aside and said, "Is this what you think? Is this what happened? Did you have effort?" I mean, you start by looking in the mirror. Hey, Micah, were you giving it 110% or whatever you want to say?
I mean, the reality is the issues all offseason that the Cowboys didn't address are still issues. They can't stop the run, and they can't run the ball. All right? And I don't know how you fix that. You can mask that for a while, And there are going to be teams that you play, like, I don't know, without 2 left tackles and a real running back and beat Cleveland and say, man, we're really good. Then you play an Alvin Kamara and you go, well, we suck. I don't know what you do with that because those were issues all offseason that clearly weren't fixed. All right, we'll hear Dalvin Cook's name a lot this week, I think.
I hope so.
We'll either see him this week or maybe next. Could there be something to help the run game? Because so far, Zeke, Rico, and Deuce have been unimpressive.
That's putting it lightly. They've been terrible. And the fact that he went to Deuce Vaughn as early as he did in that game yesterday tells you everything you need to know. The running game's just not working.
Look, I'm at the game, so I'm not hearing what's being said on TV or Brad Sham on the radio. Where was Zeke early in that first half? I was wondering if he was hurt until I saw him get out there because why are we running Deuce right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe hoping for a spark, be slip through the line somehow or get free. I don't know. But maybe that tells you all you need to know about how they feel about Zeke Elliott. Maybe the confidence in one Zeke is not as high as you might think.
I don't know, man. He made a great tackle. He and Dak after that interception.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was the first time those two have combined to make a tackle.
Wow. Cowboy history.
Cowboy history.
Cowboy history.
Hopefully that is the last time those two combine to make a tackle. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Wednesday, Blitz is going to be live out at the Big Blind.
Yeah.
Going to be fun out there
Happy to go out
on
there,
Wednesday.
Yes.
Good spot tonight if you're going out, looking for a place to go watch the game, or next door at the Roo Pub. They'll have it. Of course, we'll have it for you here on the radio. Monday Night Football. You've got the Falcons and the Eagles, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. If you're watching on television, apparently Jason Kelsey is going to join Troy Aikman and Joe Buck in the booth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the ESPN's giving him a lot of money, and he's entertaining, so they're going to use him. Now, he's at the game right now. Looks like he's wearing a tracksuit.
It is. It's like a soccer team, right?
Yeah. Italy. You know.
Is Kelsey Italian? Yo, Kelsey.
Stop.
Mamma mia.
What?
Be stealing my Lucky Charms.
Yes.
Here we go. I don't know.
Monday Night Football coming up at 6:30. Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You doing a show today, Pledge, after a 30-minute extra innings with Pledge. More bitching about the Cowboys tomorrow on the Blitz starting at 2. You know, guys, as we get older, you got to start taking better care of your health. Your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s, so if you're lacking that energy and drive, could be low T, and it's simple to get that fixed. Go get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. You don't want to put it off. Get testing. They have an on-site lab, so you're going to get your results back at your first visit, and if you need it, customized care from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy or TRT. Maybe it's just weight that you're dealing with. Synergenics will get you taken care of. They're experts there with their advanced TRT treatment and also experts with GLP-1 weight loss medication. So get to Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Get your TRT test results on your first visit, and you can also be evaluated for prescription weight loss treatment. Book that appointment now. You don't want to put this off. Go to synergenicshealth.com to book your appointment. SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenics Testosterone.